Hello, good evening, welcome to Transformers the Show. We're going to make a start! Transformers Show!
May I have your attention, please? This is the captain of your ship! I'm sorry. We found this way! You left me broken hearted! But I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway.
Hi everyone, good evening, welcome to Transformers the Show number 147. Tonight we're going to talk about our most powerful Decepticon. We've also got our top 5 Decepticon Micromasters. We've got loads of news, including like Toys Dreadwing, plus Rohan's Corners looking at Sci-Fi versus the Fantasy. Why have I got a German accent? It's because it's time for the
I
news!
got some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Sound
Hey,
like you sound like my old German porn teacher.
Do I? Mr. Henderson?
Mr. Henderson. Anyway, my mind's gone completely blank. Jamie, you're my expert usually on this stuff. This was shared by Matt Ferguson, wasn't it? Friend of Alexis and the show. But he's not the artist, is he? It was one of his friends, and I've forgotten his name.
Matthew Rudolph.
That sounds.
Yeah,
Oh,
Matt
Jamie,
Rudolph,
you muted,
Rudolph.
mate.
Alexis copy and pasted the entire information and put it on the news, so I'm quite surprised that you had me. You had me complaining.
Matt Rudolph.
So he complained it word for word, and I think you read it as Alexis saying it because it was actually the
Oh, I
artist.
did at first, yeah. I
Matthew
thought for a second that's what he
Rowan.
was saying.
It's
Just
just
copy and
revealed.
pasted it instead of
But basically,
actually writing it.
Twitter's been quite excited about it. I think it's through. I'll just get it up in a second. I think it's through
Matthew
Bubble
Flory
Art.
Rowan. There you
Said
go.
that.
And it's through Bubble
You said
Art. The sales
Rudolph.
on. I think
Oh, I
the
said it
sales
afterwards.
I think the sale's the 14th of November. Is it? Is it going on sale then?
He didn't copy and paste the details like that. He did get the name of it though, the name of the person, the artist. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's around then, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's very nice. I'm
Mm.
sure
You know-
Matthew Ferguson also shared a video on his social media of the actual physical copy of it, just to show it off, and it was a pretty thing, I have to admit.
Oh yeah,
Proper
it's
artwork.
superb. I mean, yes, these are the guys who give fire to your imagination, don't they? And they're brilliant.
Spoilers.
OP killer.
It's very interesting to know. It was that Rodiness there, because that definitely wasn't Hot Rod's colours,
Hot Rod.
was
It's
it?
got Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
Face. Yeah, it's Hot Rod.
Hot
It
Rod
hasn't
is going
got,
after
but
Daniel
no,
with-
it hasn't got Hot Rod's colours though, has it?
That's magenta.
Yeah, pink.
Magenta.
Magenta.
Yeah, but I'm
Very
looking
good.
at
Look
the
at his
whole
youthful
chest
face.
area. I'm looking at the whole chest area though. That's the thing.
I bet you always
You
are,
always
Jamie.
go straight to
Yeah.
that one, don't you?
Well, it looks like Hot Rod to me anyway. But I'm not a Hot Rod aficionado like yourself.
No,
Jamie,
I
so
do love it and stuff like that. Yeah,
I love the
it's
fact that
brilliant.
he's managed to capture the actual poses that you see at different moments in the film. So it's not just drawing the characters; it's different poses from the film as you go on. Like Blur shooting from the windows, moaning about how many Decepticons there were. RC when she's looking through a visor. Cop in that moment where he points out that Prime's turned the tide. And oh my god, have I watched that film too many times? Possibly. But it is just, literally a work of art. It's just fantastic.
And just like in Infamous Words of Springer, we'll crucify it because we've got better things to do tonight than get it right.
I don't know what's worse, that joke or the fact that he's still playing Blazing Squad. Anyway, there you go.
Jesus, God. Ah!
Anyway, DLX, it's the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, isn't it? This is a
Big one.
rather
Big one.
shiny thing, yeah.
Big one.
11.2 inches tall and 53 points of articulation. I'm just taking a guess.
Average
Around
size
yeah.
there.
articulation.
The sale is online on the 15th of November, 6 p.m.
you go.
UK and 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's moreartgallery.com.
We
You
could
know,
maybe share that in the Transformers the Show group, Jamie, if you get a chance.
I'll just do that just now. I'll put the
and then
blog
people can
thing.
have a look.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's this Megatron. It's a very nice, looking figure. It's, I'm assuming, non-transformable. Looks very good, very accurate to what he looked like in the film, if you are wanting something that looks that way. There he is, standing on their version, I presume, of the Revenge of the Fallen Prime.
I'm assuming there must be a bit of a market, because this isn't the first one they've done. They've done quite
Oh,
a few.
no, there must be.
Fallen's the second of the franchise, so... Yeah, I guess the first one sold out well.
I guess the thing is, like, to us, because we're not really big movie fans, it's not necessarily something that maybe we'd be after. I mean, you might, Alexis. I know you've picked up a few of those kind of masterpiece style movie bots.
It's like because I think that the Bumblebee version is almost like it was like a crossover between real life and it's like bringing it forward, bringing your childhood forward. I think that's what Bumblebee movie did. I felt it was like a real live action movie, like compared to this.
No, you didn't. You told me you didn't like it. That's what I said to you. You just copied what I said to you.
This
Stop stealing patter. Stop stealing other people's patter, you little thief.
Look, quit your pitter-patter, fool. Quit your pitter-patter.
Just jog on.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. The MDLX, you did show this last week, but these were some of the photos that have been released.
Remember 2 photo limit. That's fine. There's a little matrix. That's the one I wanted to get there. So I'm so tempted to get this. But
I just don't like it. I know it's very much based on, I think, was it the Japanese artwork originally, even back in the movie. So it's not like it's been modernized or anything like that. It's just
it's like the one up there. It's the big wing, right?
I mean, I don't know. Is it?
Go on, Jamie. Make your point.
Go on.
I'll
go back.
It's just something when it starts to look that heavy lines and it's heavy detail.
I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's almost too busy.
It looks a little bit like the Kingdom Rodimus, but stylized.
Yeah,
is that probably the right thing? A bit of extra line work, a couple extra details here and there. Probably a similar height to
it's almost like someone's went down with a black pen to enhance the detail when you don't need to. But
Well, let's move on anyway. So, Rise of the Beasts. Somebody's got hold of the deluxe Air Razor figure. So, quite a lot of the Beastie fans were quite excited about this.
They've got low expectations, haven't they?
I mean, I don't think it looks bad. I was expecting, the kind of cheap-looking.
It does look.
Sorry, our cat has been sick everywhere. Someone needs to go and sort that sick out. So.
Sorry, Paul. Have you just got to go clean your pussy up?
Hey!
I'll tell Lisa that joke. She'll definitely laugh. Right.
Genuinely, you've got
back in 2 seconds.
It's a bit drippy everywhere. So right, this does look better than the Earthrise one.
I don't really know. I like the not Earthrise, Kingdom one.
I do as well.
I think this is a different look. And it'd be interesting to see if it looks much like this in the film. I mean,
what's happened to the back? I can't see the back. Is it like, are the wings are put in more of an angle? Is that it?
I think there's another photo of them in their bird mode. So the wings seem to be down the back.
Oh, so it's just folded it to
looks like there's more going on with it.
That's quite cool.
A little more going on. Although
I do like the fact that she's got weapons. That's quite cool.
It might be a weird thing, but proportionally, like the legs, there it looks a bit, bit stockier than this one, which I always thought the legs were a bit thin. But I mean, obviously, look very much like the figure.
It's easy now online trying to shop for it.
And look, two swords.
So has it been just like a basically mold adjustment and stuff, thickening things out? And
I would imagine so, because it doesn't look a million miles away from what we had before. Although in this one, the arms seem to become the wings.
The wings are different, aren't they? The way the wings can be done are different.
The arms,
maybe
it is a new mold.
Also, it looks like a new mold.
Beastie fans, what are you thinking? Are you liking this? It's the first one I think we've seen, like, of what I call the proper toys. The ones that adult collectors might collect from the Rise of the Beast, and it looks all right.
On the left.
That one is from, I want to say something like Energon. Looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's the port there and the weapon. And I'm guessing that's an air razor from Energon, but I'm
look.
not a massive fan of Energon. I like some of the toys from it, but it was the
Look like a
weakest of the
GoBot,
Unicron trilogy by some distance. Anyway, apparently Hasbro's releasing a version of Victory Saber. I don't know if anybody's heard about this. They seem to have kept this under wraps for a long time. You know, it's totally new information. Yeah, and that's the box. So this is we've got loads of these photos, so I do apologize, but there was loads of them, and lots of people are excited about it. So I thought if we flick through quite quickly, and you guys can comment as we go along.
Sorry, apologies. This is the HasLab.
Yeah.
This is not HasLab.
No, this is the HasLab.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right.
He was being funny.
And that's the best kind of comedy when you got to point it out.
I said we should do a comic strip for Mandy.
Straight over his head. Anyway, so you got all these goodies that come with it, and I know we knew they were coming, but to actually see them physically, I suppose, is quite exciting.
Yeah.
And it does look very nice. I mean, you can't deny that it looks very nice.
I know, but I'm kind of just worried because recently we've seen a complete fall in quality control from Hasbro.
Yeah,
and you know, when you come into these figures, you know, I heard some people talk about chips in the paintwork, etc. Obviously some scarring of the paint and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, my worry would be with the cost of it and everything. If it does turn out there's a QC issue, that could have quite a negative effect on the future
QC issues, though. They haven't had those, so there's nothing.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Yeah, but I think they're having generic quality control issues now, where figures are now actively having chips on their paintwork, scratches on the paintwork.
Who's backing up? Nobody else hear that noise. You not hear like a noise?
That's
like...
Lisa's. Let's put the hairdryer on. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
All right, that's fine. It's fine.
Can you turn your fucking hairdryer off?
We're trying to podcast, for God's sake.
I'm doing my show, Lisa. I'm with my friends. They're embarrassing me.
Cool,
They're gonna think I'm a dick.
There'll be no putting up our show. Put your foot down, Paul.
Thanks for all the comments about.
That's my special sock. It's not for you.
Leave it. Don't open that drawer. No. Escort magazine. Fords. It's about Fords.
Yeah,
great Fords of the 80s.
Oh dear. Anyway, it does look very. I mean, undeniably, it looks very good. I can totally understand the excitement that we're seeing from people who are,
I mean, Americans apparently are getting emails just now and having stuff sent out. So hopefully they have the first batch of all the rubbish on it,
all the QC issues.
And they find out.
Do you get two flight stands so they can both fly side by side?
I can only remember seeing one, but we might see again as we go on. Like I said, there's loads of photos of this because not only were these photos that kind of came out, but then I think somebody else had it in hand as well. So this is one of the in-hand photos for somebody.
We're showing it now. Does that mean when it comes out, we don't actually have to show it on the show?
Oh, I'm pretty sure Jamie might do a review of this bad boy.
I mean, the thing is, I jokingly say that I hope the Americans get a lot of the QC issues, only because they can complain about it, and Hasbro will listen. If it's the Europeans that get it, nothing will change. Where I think the Americans, they'll maybe get money refunded, they'll get replacements, because they're bound to have made more, for people who might have other issues.
I might be completely wrong, but that little bit there looks like it's recycled from. Do you remember the Sky Shadow mold, the little drone bit? It reminds me of that a bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's
Titan's Return.
But that was an extra, wasn't it? That was an extra. So
the little bit there was it? I can't remember.
Yeah. That's his hilt to his sword. So
look at that
sword.
I mean, he's a decent size, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, when combined, isn't he?
Smaller.
There's going to be a lot of people happy to get this figure.
Yeah. Is he a better bot than Jetfire? Is he genuinely a better bot than Jetfire?
I think
we don't know yet.
Was a very good bot. Very good.
If he's as good as Jetfire, that'd be good enough for most people because Jetfire was
over twice the price.
Mechanically, technically, an excellent bot. Well, yeah, but you do get the two figures, not just the one, and you do get a load of extras, and it's an exclusive thing, and that's how they get you. So
But how many people do you think will be happy once?
It's like why third-party people will pay £300 for something like that, or Masterpiece people will pay £300.
But do you think a lot of people who will get this will sell it on? Because they might get it and then they'll just think.
They will. I think some will. I think some definitely will, won't they? There'll be people who've ordered a few, I wouldn't be surprised if there's
So,
people manage to order more
Well,
than
there's
one,
going to be a lot of
and they'll sell
people
them
who
on
have
eBay.
ordered stuff just because of quality control issues. You know, for the
Yeah,
new
possibly.
one that's out. I'm going to order definitely a couple, and I know my.
I was going to say, are you trying to tell us something, Jamie?
No, my family. I'm going to
Oh, right,
order definitely a couple for QC issues, just because I've had a nightmare recently.
So
Well, anyway,
who's this boy
Here-
band?
Here's Mark Lonis's recent post, kind of showing off breakdown, the legacy breakdown that we're getting.
Is that
with
one from
the
Hasbro?
Yeah, this is Hasbro. Hasbro Mark Lonis.
Oh, that's cool.
And,
He's got his own branding now.
I know, I like that.
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty cool.
He deserves it. He deserves his own adverts. Just him. Like, just
He
advertising
deserves his
him.
own company.
This is Mark from
He
Hasbro.
should run the company.
He should.
Buy my things; they're great.
I am Mark.
Sorry. May have
Great face
Slandered
sculpt on that. Well done, Hasbro's.
I think it looks really good,
Really good.
and the car mode's nice. Maybe it's not completely faithful to the original, but it's
So
still
what's
nice.
all the controversy then? He just didn't match his original car mode.
I think. I mean, I don't know how much controversy there was, but it's one of those things that people always point out, isn't it? It's that whole thing of, oh, well, that's not exactly the same as it was. Well, no, it's 2022. Get over it. And
No,
there he is as a leg.
He's meant to be Lamborghini. He's meant to be Lamborghini Countach, and Wild Rider is a Ferrari 358 Daytona. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's ridiculous.
Just saying. If you're into cars, that is. I'll go get my. If you want to go get my top trump? I'll get my top trump.
Look at all those
It's
black
disgusting.
marks
That's what it is. It's disgusting.
on that white paintwork.
Right, I'm going to stop that because I don't want to trigger Jamie. I feel like I'm upsetting him. Just
Too
by
late.
looking at that.
He's been triggered.
The paintwork. Anyway, let's hope that was just an early one. Then it wasn't well painted. Right,
But
Sherry,
we know
Sherry.
that's not true because we could get any
Yeah,
figure
I
and it's
know.
going to be crap paintwork just now.
Third party.
I heard Haslab Victory Saber's already starting to yellow.
Boom. Oh, damn.
Every one of your jokes. Oh. We do still have sound. I thought I'd be muted then. That's why I stopped talking.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
For some reason,
I automatically assume, he's muted me again.
any video it mutes you unless you play Liz Truss, and you can just talk over her, much like when she was in the cabinet.
Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, a little bit of politics. It's a
Shall I?
broadside.
may I?
Go on, yeah, Alexis.
This is Like Toys, and they've done. So they remember we showed a while back. They did their MP size version of Broadside. They've scaled it down. So this is a Legends version of Broadside, which might be going into production potentially. Rumors are out there at the moment, but it looks pretty good in every mode. Cockpit opens there.
It's Light Toys Impactor.
Yes, it's Like Toys.
So
So Like Toys, Lionel Hertz, who does the all the kits for the combiners, and he's doing the Metroplex. This is his Broadside. He's done it. It's a MP scale, which is halfway between. So I want to say 15 inches tall.
it's good, isn't it? It's just a shame it looks shit.
But this is good. This is good. This is legend. Paul, this is legend
It
scale.
looks
That's
like
a great review.
it looks like when people do their own modes, like when they do the fan modes
What?
transformations.
I'm going to say this now. That plane mode, because it is difficult. Let's be honest. You want trying to get somebody to transform from an aircraft carrier to a jet that looks realistic-ish to a robot as well that looks good.
But
And I
is
think
it
that's
difficult,
weaker by
Andy,
far.
or is it difficult for someone like you?
Well, yeah, it is because I have no design qualifications or skills. But thank you.
I know. So
Let's see
should
your
we comment-
broadside.
So we
Go
should
to
be
the aircraft
commenting
carrier,
on that.
Yes, we should because.
But does
I
that mean
am
that
paying
only
customer,
the only people who can comment it are engineers? Then I
Stay in
don't
your lane.
subscribe to that.
Jamie, stay in your lane.
You've changed, Andy.
I have white
You've
glasses now.
changed.
Anyway, so there it
Now
is.
you'll start noticing all the shit paintwork in
And
your
you can-
fingers. And
and
go,
It's got
I
two
will.
robot
I'll
modes as
suddenly
well.
start
You
sitting and go,
notice?
Jesus
It's
Christ,
got
Jamie was
two
right.
alternative robot modes as well. So you can have this
I always
robot
thought he was
mode,
just
or
moaning.
you can have this other robot mode, depending on which toon, toy, / which one you
Take
want.
the
So you
glasses
have
off.
both modes as well.
Oh, so
much
it's a
better.
face panel pulls off.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
have different. So, and again, like he's lost, and again, you look at his chest is different. So you can have both modes.
I like that mode.
I like Pistoia. His comment. Look at the knees on that plane. Sums it up beautifully.
Similar
Anyway,
to
dynamic
the
flesh.
fact that Assaultus did.
Oh dear.
Can you see that? Like, it's almost, it could be quite good, can it? Like, almost, if they just tightened it up.
Borderline.
It could be a really good.
Borderline.
Anyway, here's an Artfire.
New Age Artfire, and they've done, and it's interesting actually because X-Transbots and New Age have used the exactly the same target master for Cyclonus as they had for their Artfire, which is Nightstick.
What, and shrunk him down?
No, as in both of them did a repaint of, they did Cyclonus and then it did Artfire, and the target master for both those robots is the same one, repainted.
Yeah, but different size.
No, because X-Transbots did MPs of them, and New Age did a legend scale Cyclonus with target master and Artfire.
Sorry, I just kept asking the same question again until I got the answer I wanted.
Did. There we go. See,
Sorry.
Unfortunately, Paul,
Until the question was answered
you've
properly.
broken reality there, because Einstein said if you do the same thing over and over, expect different results, you're nuts. But you actually got different results by doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I should have listened.
Of course, that was talking to you, Alexis. So it's.
Oh, so I've broken science.
So what's Cyclonus got to do with this whole Artfire thing?
He's got the same target master.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't go back into it.
If you buy the toy version of New Age, they give you the target master like that.
Toy
well.
Okay.
Not the normal version. You have to buy the toy version to get a target master, which is pretty wanky.
You say toy, like you say sword?
Toy. Yeah, he does. Oh, look how happy he is.
Hey.
Because I said it properly. Toy. He's got waving hands.
Anyway.
And
there's
his ladder collapses back up inside his body.
I've got Mr. Bertie face.
So is Artfire based like on a Japanese fire truck?
It's got eyeballs. Look like googly eyes. Anyway, go on. Sorry, what was the question, Jamie?
Is Artfire based on a Japanese fire truck?
I don't know. I can't remember to reach my Artfire.
Just about
Artfire, yes. Artfire was a Japanese exclusive target master because they had different target. Well, some of the target masters were different to us. And they had repaints, didn't they, of Jazz as, was it Ricochet or whatever he's called, Stepper or whatever he's called?
Yep.
And then they had Inferno repainted as Artfire and also with a target master. So they weren't released for us. They were Japanese figures and characters. Them's ones, like he says. And there he is again with his little mate sitting on his shoulder.
That's quite cool. He's happy.
And then this is the last photo because there wasn't much third-party news, and Alexis stuck this in our news, and I still.
I did. I forgot to do the third.
Is this your wish? Is this what you've created? Because this is what you want.
So I got some Marvel site, and apparently this is like these are guys that are being cast as these characters. So I thought I'd throw it in there as like, oh, it'd be pretty interesting. As three good actors as these roles. I mean, they're decent actors. So I'm assuming the roles might be quite good, like quite big roles in those movies. So whichever movies they do.
I can't imagine Liam Neeson as Galactus. Unless he's just doing the voice.
Yeah, it will just be the voice.
Well, you never know. They might stick him in the suit.
When he starts out, I've got a very specific set of skills.
With his American Irish accent. Anyway, there you go. That's the news.
I would put Bill Crosby as Galactus.
Bill Crosby.
Because like that would just be really scary. Oh, Bill's coming. Don't leave your drinks unattended. When Galacticus is in the house.
Not to be confused.
Because you'll be waking up in a different house.
Not to be confused with Alan McBeal.
Why don't you have a little drink?
You're getting
the impression.
Please do Bill Crosby impressions.
There we go.
That's the level we're at. Anyway, that was it. That was the news.
Hang on. Do you want to have a Cosby cosplay?
No. For numerous reasons.
Oh, that explains your jumper tonight. Oh, bless you.
Oh, Spurn.
I
like your jumper.
I like Paul's little. I like your jumper.
Yeah, it was nice. Let's do some pickups.
We now return to the Transformers.
Matt Hancock as Magneto. He is lighting up that jungle. I don't know if you watch that, but
no, thankfully not.
Spoiler alert! If you do, he got 11 stars, and people are acclimatizing to him. Obviously, they'll still blame him for like killing millions of people, but
he's got some stars, so now they're forgiving him.
He did 11 stars. Right, who would like to go first? Who's got the best pickup this week?
I do, I think.
Okay, Flex.
It plays into our most powerful Decepticons as well.
I thought it was going to be his jumper.
I'm quite surprised that you know what the discussion is as well. that was the
was
true
up in his
flex.
loft. He was literally up in his loft. Ooh.
Egon. This is
Hi, Ian.
counterpart to the Rodimus that I got.
Maybe just put it down a bit.
That way. That way.
There's a lot of plastic in that box. I'm crying for the forest right now.
So, I haven't taken them out. I was going to do some cool photographs.
Bloody
and stuff,
hippie.
I know.
but
With
I was up in
plastic
my loft
trees.
too long. So I was in my loft. So this is my pickup, my dick up, whatever you want to call it. So it's Galvatron. So I'm going to get him out and do some proper photographs of him for next week. And that,
He
unfortunately,
never will.
that's front back. I did one
And
for
we
Rob yesterday.
never saw the
Unfortunately, that's a front back. I saw it by 2 weeks. Sorry, Jamie. So I'm gonna have to. So it will. It will come out the box.
Good news,
so I've
Mick.
got some ideas.
Good news.
I've got
Yeah,
my
that's
two.
awesome news, Mick. Well, that's
you
awesome
do?
to hear that. So Mick's dad had successful heart surgery on Monday. Well done, Mick. Mick, you
Wish
can
him a
choose
quick
the next
recovery.
song,
Awesome.
as long as it's not
Oh, that
fucking
game's so
Nickelback.
dangerous.
Hey, Nickelback, Mick.
Nickelback.
Don't waste your opportunity. Don't choose Nickelback.
Don't you do it.
Don't be a Mick. Choose Nickelback.
Uh,
That was it. That's my pickup. That's what I got.
What
When
exactly
you said-
does Jazz want to get out? That's what I want to know.
That's what I got. I've been
I really
getting
should
shit
pay
out
more
boxes.
attention to the chat. I'm too so busy.
I hope
in
he's
the
talking
moment.
about Galvatron.
Me.
No, Jazz wants you to get your penis out.
Yeah.
That's what I got. So yeah.
So when you said you had the best pickups ever,
Oh, that was it.
okay.
It's a really cool pickup.
So
Exaggerated a little bit.
so when are we going to see the Death Solace pictures you promised?
Next week or the week after.
Next week.
He is in
Next
the
week
photo
never
zone.
comes.
He is in the photo zone. He's there. He's there with his sword. He's there
He's
in
in
the
the
photo zone.
photo zone.
He's there in the photo zone. I just got kind of just congested with other bots at the moment. So I need to get rid of those bots first of all. I'm trying. I got this one out of the box.
What
This one
are
here.
you doing there then? Holding a demonstration or
Well, this
something?
one
You must
here-
have placed them
This one here, Jamie, you like this? This one turns into a wolf, and I thought it looked, and it condenses down into a foot, and it actually looks
He's
pretty
using distraction
close to MP Carnivac. I was in the loft looking for a Carnivac
Alexis
shell.
cast a special.
And why
as well.
haven't you taken photos
Why
of
didn't you
these and
get?
shown
Why didn't you
them?
get like a Micromaster? You
I
like had
realised
it all
that
in
when I
front of you, so you could bring it down, and
I
you didn't bring
realised
any
when I
of
went
it.
into the loft to get Carnivac, G1 Carnivac, I didn't realise I don't own a G1 Carnivac. So,
Oh really?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to chuck you out the Carnivac Club, you lying bastard. now.
Quick, inform the others.
Yes.
He is to be shunned. We shall turn our backs on him.
so yeah, so I'm gonna probably have to try and source a G1
Membership
Carnivac.
card back. Oh,
Jazz, you know
Right.
that's not going to happen. It can't. It's not possible.
Metallica
Metallica.
for Mick's dad.
There we go. Metallica.
Metallica, nice.
Metallica. There we go.
Someone did get a massive pickup this week, which was Rudy Zazu. Got a huge pickup. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, jeez. I'm not sure if I should say.
I don't know. I thought you were asking.
Well, Rudy, you know what pickup
yeah,
I'm
you
talking
know
about.
what we mean.
Well done on that. Oh, not as good as Alexis's pickups though. Alexis got the biggest pickups ever.
Right, one other thing. I
Your
got,
pickup was
I think-
second,
I think
Rudy.
you meant testicles, but okay.
I got this. I got a rare gem of formatted
Gigatron.
Megatron, which is their version of Lockdown. It comes in a big
is.
box because it comes with like the Predacon heads and it's like lots of extras. It's their version of Lockdown.
Yeah, it's
Quite
the
rare.
IDW lockdown.
Yeah, it's quite rare.
It is.
So I picked that up for a bit of a steal. So I've got him to do some photographs and stuff. And
You mean you got it cheap, or do you mean you actually stole it?
no, I got it fairly. It was well, okay. Well, I mean, how much do you think? How much would you say is good price?
60 quid.
Grand.
Okay,
If you paid any less than £60, well, any less
No.
than £80 or £100, you'll have got it for a steal, really, because it goes for a lot more than that because it's rare.
yeah, 85 all in.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So,
I mean, other
That's
people
not
might
bad.
not think so,
I
but
haven't
it's,
checked
you
inside
know.
the box actually. Gives me some bottles of water.
Have you got that one, Jamie?
No, I don't like it.
Ah, fair enough.
I think it's hideous. The colour's awful as well, and it makes me physically sick. But like you can see
So,
now,
Alexis, if you put off it, just send
I'm
it to
starting
Jamie.
to choke up.
It's actually. You get yourself a drink, mate.
There he is.
I've offered people money just to destroy it.
Always bits to
That's why it's
fall
rare.
out. Always bits to fall out.
From
Got
Dortmund
bits out.
Void.
There's bits to fall out now. So
Not the first time.
I've got to sort his bits out. So I need to have a little fiddle.
Again, not the first time you said
All right, cool. Who would like to go next?
I can go if Jamie's choking to death, unless you have a desperate need to. I was kind of doing the tunes.
Yeah, I am.
Right, so I got two things. So thank you to Rohan. He pointed out about the cheap knockout, and I'd kind of been on the fence about getting it, and I thought, you know what, £14, I'm going to give it a spin, because I liked the character in Transformers Prime. I think of our little group. Have you guys even watched Transformers Prime? I don't think Jamie has, have you? Oh, you have now. Okay.
I watched them. I watched them die.
So I really liked Knockout, so I picked that up. I think it's good. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it perfectly evokes the actual character from Transformers Prime, but then again, it's not going to because it's G1ified. But I really like it. So cheers, Rohan, if you're watching, and I'm sure you are. I really should look in the chat at some point. And then the other thing I got was a bit of a mini grail for me. So you lads may have noticed that I'm quite a big fan of the Cybertron trilogy figures, in particular Transformers Cybertron. And there's one I've been after for ages. Whoops. And I've just managed to drop his gun. There's one I've been after for ages and missed out. I missed out on one once for about £5 at a car boot sale. And I can't believe I didn't buy it there and then. But for some reason I didn't. I think it was because it was incomplete. Anyway, basically I was able to get hold of a Transformers Cybertron Sky Shadow.
Oh,
so
nice.
This is the
Always liked him.
Decepticon type repaint of Jetfire from Transformers Cybertron, and the backstory to it is that Jetfire kind of got a bit fed up with the tactics being used by Optimus Prime and the Autobots to stop the Decepticons, so he goes undercover by repainting himself and taking on the personality, the character of Sky Shadow, and joining the Decepticons. And this thing is so minty fresh, I cannot put it into words. It's like it's come straight out of the box, and it's so shiny and pretty, and I love it, and I am very, very happy. So I've been after one of these since, I completely honestly, I've been after one of these since about 2006, 2007. Wow. And I've missed out on some in the past, and some I've kind of felt like, oh, I'm not paying that much for it. I'll get it cheaper later on, and then it just never seems to happen. And anyway, so I managed to get this one, and it's 100% complete. So he's got his Cyberplanet key just in the back there. He's got his 2 rifles, and he came with set of instructions as well, and I got it off from eBay, and the seller packed, oh my god, it was so well packed I cannot express it in words. He packed it with newspaper to the point it took me about 10 minutes just to manage to unpack it from the box, because the newspaper was so tightly packed around it to protect it. And
tweet like a tiger.
Tweet smoking a pancake. Anyway, he's just beautiful, and his joints are so clickety and tight in general, and I now have the problem that I really love his jet mode, and I don't know whether to display it in his jet mode, which I don't really have the space for, or a flight stand for. I don't even think it fits on a flight stand, or in his robot mode. But he's in robot mode at the moment because it was easier to kind of get it on the screen. So for those of you who know the toy and know the figure, I'm sure you appreciate that. I was very, very happy to manage to pick this bad boy up, and it didn't break the bank, which was nice. So yeah,
Brad would be proud of you.
Sky Shadow. Brad would be proud of me. Do you know what? I actually forgot to message Brad, because whenever I get anything like this, me and him always have a little conversation about how much it costs and what we got it for, because Brad is the expert, or at least one of the experts I know on all this kind of stuff. So Brad, if you're watching, you lovely Welshman, bit of Sky Shadow action. Let me know what you think.
Borders do
and love
that,
to all the
said
other
that.
Welsh people.
Yeah, we love you.
Oh, and if we haven't mentioned this, I don't think you mentioned it last week, but
Scottish
if you haven't
people?
been, go and watch Ultra Marcus's latest video. His latest stop motion video, which is I think came out like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago.
I thought it was last Friday.
Well, either way, it's great. Go watch it. Go to Ultra Marcus's channel after
Marcus,
this.
if you're in the chat, put a link in there, mate. Share it. Big it up, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
I think over 4,000 people have seen it so far. Probably way more now.
Yeah, it's great, and it really is a good. It's good, obviously the great animation and the voices and the voice acting, but it's also a great story, and it teased that a little bit of double dealer at the start of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing my boy. Anyway,
Don't forget your tissues.
always got them, mate. Don't need tissues. Got
He always
curtains.
dies,
Anyway,
so it's
carry
not
on.
bad.
Got socks, mate. Jamie, what did you get this week?
Socks. Oh,
Do the shuffle.
oh. Here we go.
There we are.
Hey.
Yeah, so basically, I only took one photo, and that's it. That's the only photo I took, and that's of Flame War. And it's not a character I really know or have any love or hate of, you know, but it's quite a cool character, quite nice colours, quite bright. When you do some research on the character, she seems like she's a complete riot on the comics. So it'd be an interesting character to read up on. You know, I think I like this quote when it's a quote which I don't know was taken from a song. You know, where I'm not a damsel in distress. I'm not your girlfriend or the fighting princess. I'm not the little bird who needs your help to fly. Nope, I'm the bad guy. And I think it sort of sums up the sort of character there. And it's a shattered glass version. So the Decepticon insignia is nice and red. But, you know, for a lot of other people, they could just get a Decepticon insignia, a purple sticker, and slap it on there. And they've got their Flame War character that they want. So it might not make sense in the Shattered Glass universe, but not many things do make sense in the Shattered Glass universe. But there they have, and they've got that character out there, you know, hook or by crook. They've given a character which people really wanted. And I've got it there next to Red Rocket and RC, you know, Legacy RC. And it's the exact same mold, and it's just seeing these colours and how just little changes in how you use the backpack or the wheels, you know, you can change out the look of the character. And she also comes with her bird guy, which I think is called Fire Glide, which I have no idea who that character might be, just could be made up or whatever. You know, but
do you think it's worth it, Jamie? Because it's nearly £40.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. You know, as I said, I enjoy taking the photo, and he's like, and I have done other photos, but I just really couldn't be arsed with them, you know, because I'm loaded with the cold, so I can't do fuck all. And but you know, it's a. I mean, I really wanted to do that photo because I just wanted to get all those characters in focus. But I wanted them at different depths,
as usual.
Different depths, which was a bit harder to do.
Would you have paid £40 for the other two? Like,
no, the other two were like.
Hi, Brandon.
No, I know, but I'm saying if they were all £40 each, would you pay £40 for each of them?
Well, see, the thing is, it's like Flame War is a Shattered Glass one, so it came with like a comic, and it came with this little pickaxe, and it's also with the price increase. But you're still talking £38. And at £38, you know, I expect better quality. Even with her, you know, with my eyesight, I can see the marks in the paint, you know, with his black marks, which is caused by paint not being applied properly, or, you know, and there's scrapes on there, and that's like in the head sculpt. Now, in this figure, this one is actually particularly quite good, so I'm quite lucky. But I've seen other people's photographs where it's horrendous marks on the figure. And
have you considered not wearing glasses and then thus not being able to see?
No, my family, you know, my grandparents didn't start wearing glasses until they're about 85, 88. So
you're going to tell me you've got perfect eyesight, aren't you?
Yeah, so
damn you.
And I got ordered a second one because I quite like the mold and I quite like the idea of bike and I love that. And it is quite expensive, you know. But the second one came in, it was fucking horrendous. You know, you're talking about excess paint and stuff like that, and I've sent that back. And Hasbro are good at swapping stuff. They have to be. But they've really got to improve the quality control because you know me, guys. I've been taking photos since the lines first came out. And there's definitely a change in the quality control of the characters. And they've got to start to do something and start towing that back. And I know we've had COVID and all that situation there. And I know they've changed factories. But the paint work...
So friend of the show, Drew, shared an interest in our Legends chat. I watched the article, and it was about Hasbro, and that Hasbro wanted to increase profits by 50% next year. So generally, they're sticking the prices up on everything, like everywhere. Like they're not going to increase the quality, but they're sticking the price up massively because again, they want to increase. The
it's not even like they're increasing the quality; they're decreasing the quality. That's what it seems like.
They're making
increasing the price.
Yeah,
and it's almost like the more they produce, so there is a lot of defects. They don't care because they've got so much there, but there'll be ones that'll be quite good, or ones that people will be more palatable with and happier with, and take that approach. Because at £38, for basically a figure which has got an axe, you're paying about £15 more in comparison to what the other figures were, RC and Red Rocket. It's not worth it. You know, you're £15 more for the axe. I'd rather not have the axe and have her at 25 quid.
The reason I asked, Jamie, is because
It's good because it comes with the comic, so that kind of takes it there. But
So-
you see this sold in general sale, other places, they won't be getting the comic with it.
Yeah.
So suddenly, you know, that's, you know,
you can buy the
more
comic
value for
online
me.
or someone. You can probably
No,
buy the
Hasbro Pulse, it comes with the comic. That's why I bought it from Hasbro Pulse, because I like the
So,
comics.
APC Toys, which is a third-party company who do all the Transformers Prime. So I bought they did the Transformers Prime RC. I bought it because I thought it'd be quite a cool bike for other lots to ride potentially. It didn't scale, unfortunately, so I sold it on. But beautiful paintwork, lovely version of the mold. Again, same size as the original one, but the one you've got there.
Yeah.
One, but it was £38 for a third party. But again, you just got a lot more for it. I found than and I'm not saying all Hasbro toys are like this, right? But that particular, and the majority of them, it was like, which is like it's going into third party territory, like the Deathsaurus is going into third party territory. Like, so you are going to get naturally comparisons between figures which are a similar price point, right? So I'm at, you know, those guys might, if they did if this is a popular figure, they did a repaint of it. If you're willing to pay that sort of money, the third party version might be a better version for you if you wanted that to.
I mean, Flame War is a popular figure, and the paintwork in that figure is excellent. I mean, when the paintwork, the design, everything on there, it's brilliant. And I'm happy I bought it. I do think 38 quid is a lot to be asking, and I have to be honest there. For that figure, which is basically a deluxe with an axe, and it hasn't got hands that open up and close. You know, it's the same mold exactly as we've had with Red Rocket and RC. They've not added anything else to it apart from a superb paintwork, when, you know, as it should be when it's in ideal conditions. Not worth the 38 quid.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a Hasbro fanboy, I really am.
Nice.
And I've got to also say, the Hasbro people, when you contact them and moan and tell them, they're wonderful. They've got a fantastic customer service.
They've always been really. I mean, we criticise other elements of them, but Hasbro Pulse over here have always seemed to be really good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
in
I
the
guess
UK,
that's because they can source
I've
it
heard
easier.
different stories in America, but sometimes I wonder what Americans
Oh,
have
that's
screamed
nice
at them
selected.
down the phone line, where I think we tend to be more
Hey,
polite.
good,
I don't
Andy.
know if that's
Hey,
just me
good.
putting a stereotype.
That's because we are British. We don't do that kind of thing.
Mr. Ride, if you look at one of these online, third party, really good light stand. You could probably display that then.
There's no, but there's nowhere to plug it in.
No, you don't. It's got these are rubber balls at the end here.
Ah, it's like a tripod thing. Sorry, I
Still
didn't
looks
pick up
really
on
bad,
that.
though,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
That's the whole. You just find bits. It's
I always think those tripod things. I think it's just weird.
yeah, they're really good. They work. They're really well.
How many planes have you got
seriously.
displayed using them?
I've got my Cyclonus and my Scourge angled, like flying, like that on them.
Name them and show us photos.
Yeah.
But you
Prove
think about
it.
I will.
is it
Go on,
Slicer?
go on, Jamie, what were you saying?
The
The
Wheeljack
Slicer, yeah.
Slicer character. He's coming with like almost 2 figures, and he's like nearly just about 45 plus, isn't he? And it's almost 2
but you're
figures.
and
you're getting a hell of a lot more
figure,
weapons.
aren't you? There, yeah.
Yeah, and
I can kind of understand it more with Slicer, whereas with Flame War, I think it's more cashing in because Flame War is popular within the fandom as a
Truth.
female bot use, you know. Oh,
And
look
it-
at
and
that!
the colour-
It's got the photo.
And I've got to say, out of all 3 of them,
massive
RC and Red Rocket, Flame War holds the colours better than the other 3.
Yeah, I do like Road Rocket. That's the only version of the mold I've got. But I'm sure it's a good toy. It's just that, like you
No,
say, is it
I
we're
thought you
in
had.
the
I
price?
thought you had Pocket Rocket, Andy.
That's not a toy. That's not a toy.
No, you need to have a license for that.
Jamie, did you get
Exactly.
anything else, sir?
I also got, and this is the thing that annoys me, is well, not annoys me, but it's like
Another
I
thing.
collect Hasbro.
This is also on my list.
To the
a
left.
G.I. Joe line. And to be honest, with all the G.I. Joe figures I've bought, and it's a hell of a lot, there's only 2 figures I've ever bought which have been defective. You know, everything else has always been good.
I'm trying to, what is that? I was trying to read the name so I could act like I knew what it was.
Yeah. It's Duke's.
Duke and Ram? Is that what it's
well,
called?
his
Ram?
bike. It's his
Yeah.
bike.
Oh, his name.
Tiger
Isn't that
Force.
lovely?
Yeah. So that's a sort of bad boy I'll be opening over the weekend, hopefully when I'm much better.
Yeah, that cold of yours has been sticking around like a mother trucker.
Oh, I know, it's annoying as hell.
Cool. So good pickups. I didn't get anything. Oh, I finally played Modern Warfare 2. It was awesome. Played it last night. I bought it about a year ago or 6 months ago when you can finally pre-order it. The money didn't come out until like a month ago. Looked at the bill came up at £69.
Well, it's
I was
free.
like, sorry?
You should download it that time. It's free, right?
No, Call of Duty Warzone is free. Call of Duty Modern Warfare isn't free.
Oh, good. I thought I got lured into buying some bullshit then. Sorry, carry on.
But it's really good. I've been playing today for a little bit.
game.
Like literally, I had half a round today. I played a lot last night. It was really cool. If you've ever played Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3 and really got into it, it's really similar. It's
Is it really intense though? Like, because I know like that one shot kill. Like,
it's pretty much It's very close to that. It's not like Fortnite where you can take a shot.
Halo.
Like you get seconds.
I got God of War 5. God of War Ragnarok for the PlayStation 5.
That looks incredible.
How did you find
Have
out?
you tried it yet? Or
Oh yeah, I've been playing it loads. It's another reason I probably went for total no more.
I've lost all sympathy for you now.
I am Ragnarok, but Len's been wanting to watch TV and I've been fighting with her. No, no, but yeah.
I'm feeling really sorry for you.
welcome to Video Game Corner live on Friday nights.
Modern Warfare, people say the graphics are immense, which I would say is starting to. Would that not just put you off ever wanting to fight in a war, playing a game like Modern Warfare?
Why? Because it hurts your fingers.
Well, the minute you move, you die, and you go fuck.
Yeah, but you get
Like when
to
you ask Alexis to
I
come
think
here.
there's less respawn in the real war. I haven't been in one, so I don't 100% know. But I'm going to take that on a limb.
You could just hide in a bush.
Christmas time. Right.
Oh god, like Christmas music. Yeah.
What did you dip your toe in? That's the question I want to know.
Oh,
Should we do some Rohan's corner?
Why the
Sexy
hell
Rohan.
not?
Good old
Why
lovely
the
Rohan.
fucking hell not? Let's do Rohan. Let's tease him out. Rohan.
Hang on, let's go to my bottle of wine.
Rohan. Go on, do
Go
it.
bot fan. Go bot fan.
Rohan the GoBot
Rohan the GoBot fan.
fan. Rohan the GoBot fan.
We've got his new theme tune.
GoBot fan.
Working overtime, recording fine, that's just prime. Super reviews, which will neutralize Hasbro's wave of crimes. Magic Square to the rescue, and New Age has got such super paintwork. Rohan is the mighty power that can save the day. Rohan. No one knows what lies behind his wall of fame. Rohan, always riding hard on Hasbro's trail. Come see the memes he plays every Friday. Thank you, chappies. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Book of Rohan. And this week it's a bit of a quick show because unfortunately I'm packing for Rollout Roll Call this weekend where I'll be selling my wares, hoping to see you all there and catch up as per last year with a few new faces. Hopefully, who knows? If you don't know, check it out on Facebook, Rollout Roll Call at Fordingbridge Town Hall. It's a good place to come and see a lot of Transformers and G.I. Joe action figures and buy stuff. Anywho, this week I've been watching the latest episode of Transformers Earthspark that rolled out on YouTube for all of us in the UK. The first episode was shown. I'm not going to talk about it because I want to give people an opportunity to actually go and see it. It's only been out for a few days, and there are a lot of talking points and probably a lot of spoilers in there for those people who haven't actually had a chance to see it yet. But it got me thinking about a discussion topic that I was having with the guys on the show last week about what is the definition of Transformers as a genre. And, you know, if you're like me and you're interested in fantasy, the likes of Lord of the Rings, or science fiction, you know, the likes of AI and mechatronics and those sorts of things, then, you know, and presumably you are because you're interested in transforming robots, then Transformers has always been one of those medias that has been categorized predominantly in the science fiction genre. However, is it really science fiction, or is it fantasy, or is it science fantasy, or is it a space opera like George Lucas wants us to believe that Star Wars universe is? And I guess this comes down to the age-old discussion between the folks who like Star Wars and those who like Star Trek, who will claim that one is based on science fantasy and one is based on science fiction. And how far-fetched you think Transformers is from the realistic world of technology that we've built today in terms of AI does exist today. We have artificial intelligent, beings. Well, can you call them beings? Artificial intelligences of forms that we utilize on a daily basis in some cases, with the likes of Siri and Alexa and other elements with, the whatever it's called, Robo Sapien, RoboSen robot that is out there for £1,000 that you can have from Hasbro, Pulse, which I don't think anyone's going to buy. Is that a form of AI? Well, not really, but it does have some capabilities as voice control. It has the ability to complicate some features and some move sets that have been pre-programmed. But we talk about Transformers and their real sentient artificial intelligence, then are they realistic in today's day and age? Probably not, I would say. If we look at some of the other sort of sci-fi / science fantasy series that I've talked about in the past, the likes of, Battletech or the likes of robotics, those are a little bit more believable because really they're mechanoids being controlled by human interfaces, and so are just kind of shells, husks of metal and intelligent data crunching, processing machines, but no real life intelligence within them themselves. Whereas Transformers obviously are totally sentient beings. And of course, I'm not talking about Target Masters and Headmasters, where obviously in a Headmaster, the actual robot is supposedly controlled by its Nebulon counterparts, or whatever you like to believe in that lore. I'm talking about the actual main Transformers themselves. And then it starts me to think about, what about combiners and how does their artificial intelligence work? Because obviously you've got 5 or 6 in some cases sentient robots who are working together to build a team, and they kind of covered this in Transformers RID when they had the RID combiners and the Bumblebee team and the Grimlock team and all those, and then there wasn't one sort of mindset that was controlling them all. They all had to come together. But the point is that I guess all of this is relatively far-fetched from today's ideologies and abilities, but is it too far-fetched to say that it won't be developed in the future? And as a result, should we be talking about Transformers as a science fiction or as a science fantasy? So for me, I grew up thinking, I'm not interested in the likes of, Lord of the Rings. I quite liked things that are based in this day and age, this reality that we live in. But then as time went on, I really started to enjoy things that took an interpolated look at what we're capable of, the likes of the Back to the Futures of this world, or Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they are basing upon some things that haven't happened yet, possibly could happen, possibly could not happen. Time travel, will it ever happen? Probably not. We don't think so. And if we look at, what's in the universe today and what we're aware of and what the expanse of the known universe actually contains, there is so much unknown. We just don't even know how many, galaxies are in our universe. We don't even know how many planets are in our own solar system. We don't know so much. We only know a finite amount of information, a snapshot of what we have found out to this date. And, go back in time and, we thought the world was flat. We thought that the Earth was it. We thought that there may be life in outer space, and who knows, there may be, but will we ever find it? Probably not. I guess these questions are all linked to the science fiction versus science fantasy versus space opera conversation, in the sense that, can anything be anything? Can Transformers be what it wants? Is it merely just a cartoon to sell toys, and therefore classify it as cartoon robots, or is it actually something a bit more where you're taking a concept and building upon it and building some sort of fantasy world? Like, The Simpsons is a fantasy world. Okay, there's a lot of that which is built upon real life human nature and ecology, but ultimately it's all fake. None of these yellow people exist. And so, while it may pick upon those elements, is it actual fantasy? Is it actual fiction? Is it actual, what is it? How do you classify it? I guess it doesn't really matter in the long run scheme of things, especially when it comes to children, because ultimately children is where these elements are, pushed towards. And we were all there at some stage in our collecting careers when we were young and enjoyed Transformers for what it was, and that won't change. But I think for me, classification of science fiction versus science fantasy, it's somewhere in the middle. I'd like to know what you all think. Hopefully this has been an enjoyable little TED Talk, and I will see you again next week, if not at Rollout Roll Call. Thank you for joining me here on Rohan's Corner. Back to the studio.
Transformers, Rohan's in disguise.
Sorry, StreamYard got caught. It gets stuck sometimes. It's really hard to operate. It's not as easy as it looks.
Looking out there, don't we?
Porn?
No, Jamie.
Oh,
Jamie is porn. Jamie is porn.
Kind of.
Jamie is porn.
Jamie is porn.
That's the
That's
next
pretty
t-shirt.
deep. Am I real? Rohan, you are making me question things I've never thought of questioning before, and not just my sexuality. That is awesome, Alexis. Why is his head so small?
He's got a good waist.
Stick a hole in it.
Great
Well,
waist
that
swivel.
makes up
Still
for it
got a
then.
small head.
He's got a small head. He's got a lot of articulation, actually.
He's got a peanut head.
He's got the bad
Tiny
guy
little
from
peanut.
Beetlejuice head.
This would be a shrunken head.
He's got
Yeah,
a very
that's a
long
shocking
neck, though,
head.
hasn't he? I don't like that neck.
Basically, it's terrible. How much did you pay for it again?
Saying shit.
Right.
Might be one.
Let's move on. Let's do some mother.
We'll see that in a sales group
trucking.
soon enough.
All I'm saying is I bought the last one from Kapow, and I missed out on the last one at Show Z. I was waiting for today's 11/11 sale, and they sold it.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
These accessories.
Oh, we
you're all right.
gone straight back into pickups, have we?
He comes with his.
You've gone.
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
His
So I thought we'd
blaster.
just go straight into 4. Oh, he's still going. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll stop the intro. I'll do it. Okay, I'll have the intro.
What, you want to go back to pickups? Like
Okay.
14 minutes ago.
All right,
I think
sounds
we're
good.
done.
We now return to the Transformers.
What?
Jamie genuinely had a look on his face there, like life was just destroying him in the form of Alexis. Just like, oh.
He comes with a stand like Rodimus does. He's got his little daisy chain as well. which you can
Sometimes
wear.
it's like us three aren't in the show and it's just Alexis.
It's like
Yeah.
no scenes in the show.
You've got to take his
It's
head
like
off
we've
the
never
back.
discussed like a running order or, you know.
You gotta do that. We have running order. So he's got his daisy chain. So I'll show him. And this lights up apparently.
Can we just come back later?
Just lost 50 subscribers.
And 12 of them were on me. Anyway.
Of them and me.
The bit on Peppa Pig that always makes me laugh is where the granddad gets stuck on the island
discussion.
and he says, wherever do don't imagine cheese. He starts thinking about cheese. That's the greatest moment from any kids show, I think. My kids were
random.
watching it. I was like, fuck, this is funny.
Is that the
I
one
was
where
like,
he's like supposed to be some great sailor or something?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like straight away they get stranded.
gun
I
as
think
well,
Mrs.
like
Rabbit
that.
has to come and get them.
Oh, freaking hell.
Like,
Mrs.
Mrs. Rabbit's always like the
Every
she was
job.
like the lifeguard.
She's everything to everyone.
I'm going to take that comment off, Drew.
I think you probably should. See if on Dark Moon, you should go and have a quiet word with yourself.
Get a little tattoo of that.
I'm a poo swapper. One day you'll be in a situation where that will help you.
What fetishes are you into? Are you into like dominance or like S&M?
What do you ask?
Swapping poo, actually. That's what I'm into. I'll give you mine.
You know what? This is
You
quite
give me
loose.
yours.
The elbow's quite loose. Look at
It's
this.
quite loose. It's a worrying comment after our discussion just then.
Fuck, yeah.
Bluey is quite
Oh, he's floppy. Something you can identify with, Alexis.
Oh, quick whip from you, Jamie. Something that's not normal.
Oh, that's not quick. Trust me, I've known you for years. It's something I always think about when you come.
Your light, Alexis, your light looks a little bit like a spatula is about to spank you.
Oh, you can have it up
right
here.
hand corner.
You can have it up there.
It's like your room's had enough of you, and it's just like stop it.
Come closer, come closer.
Your room represents our viewership.
It's fighting back. Look at it. It's going no.
Right, Alexis, that was really, really good. Can we go on to doing
you can have it in a different place. You can have it on his arm here.
You're holding his arm up.
Well. It lights up. Once it lights up, I'll stop.
Once it lights up, I'll stop. Then I shall be finished.
Oh god.
I shall be satisfied.
We'll come back to pick up some net.
Okay, we'll do 3 pickups.
Anybody
4
want to
play.
check? These are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Andy. There's a 2-second delay, so when you press the video, sometimes I press it.
It's fine.
And then someone starts talking.
I'm
like,
used to it now.
Down the button.
All of those hilarious quips I've made, all lost.
I know. Right, so discussion.
In the rain.
Foreplay even this week.
Rain.
It's our top 5 favourite Micromasters. So we've all done a lot of prep around this, ready for the show.
Just like last week.
It's the same thing for you again because you've done the wrong thing last week. So you can do your favourite Autobot Micromaster if you want.
Your favourite Autobot pretender or whatever takes you pick.
I did an Autobot last week.
You want Ironhide is your favourite Micromaster Decepticon.
Who would like to go first?
Alexis can. You can show
us. No, I don't want, I've taken too much of your time. You go.
No, I feel it should be you. I feel you should lead the way.
What? Sorry, talking to me.
Come on.
Jamie's chopping at the bit for this.
Yeah, you can tell. Poor Jamie. Do you want to go first, Jamie?
Kick it off and then we can get the show done quicker.
No, I don't want to do it. I'll do it then if you want.
We could do Rohan's corner again if you let's play.
Hiccups, third time.
Alright, cool. Andy, go on, do it.
Jamie would be my favourite with Rohan's corner, close second.
Broken note.
Do you want to hit that? Shall we just do it like this? Oh, no. Nearly. Hey. Right. You know what? I'm going to be quick. I was of Decepticon Micromasters. I quite like the what they called? Not the combat team. The pair that they did remade for.
No, that's what's the
combiners.
Yeah, I like that. That's not what I'm picking. That's not what I'm picking.
Okay.
I do like them. It's just more of an honourable shout out. Skyhopper the helicopter. Well, he's not a helicopter; he's a plane, but he flies around in a helicopter sometimes. For some reason, even though he's a plane. And what do you call him? Skystalker, who was the big Decepticon shuttle with the little blue one on top, and he was the little Decepticon Skyhammer, the big ultra pretender who was an Autobot. That's my favourite Micromaster, just like Alexis's. But the one I'm going to go for is the one that I got as a child, and it's still got a special place in my heart. This yellowed, faded. And it is, look, you can see the yellowing on it. This is the one, if you remember, I've done it once before. This is Airwave.
Airwave, that's it.
I once took, when I bought this, I was on holiday somewhere on the British coast, and it was actually sunny. And I took this down to the beach with me one day, and we were there at the beach all day, and it was very sunny, and it never recovered from that one day of actual sunshine. But I still love this thing. This is my original one. So there he is. He's a little old F-14 Tomcat, and nice simple transformation. There we go. Look, even I
the
can
Japanese version they made him an Autobot, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did. Overhead. He was the one in that they re-released in that little set, didn't they? You know, the one that at TFN in 2019 was really like everybody was after it, and then afterwards, when there was almost none left, people were selling them for ridiculous prices. Anyway, there he is, his little purple face, and yeah, very simple. And I've still got his original box. So there's his box, which he's usually on top of for display. And he is. Yeah, he's just it's nostalgia. It's pure nostalgia. It's not the best toy. I mean, as a base, when you look at it, it's an airport, like a tiny little airport that turns into a missile base that actually can't go anywhere because it doesn't even have like Hot House. Who was it who was talking about Hot House?
Yeah, it's me. He had the treads.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's why, because I had him, and I always wanted the tank treads for that mode, and that's why I took over Hot House.
What this should have, it should have some little molded on tank treads, and then at least you can say it's a mobile missile emplacement.
Stupid 1991 Hasbro.
God damn it, Hasbro! Go back in time and do that for me. But yeah, there he is. Still got the stickers on that I think I applied slightly wonkily. Look at that one. Friggin' hell, I should have had glasses back then. But yeah, my choice is Airwave. Oh, and a special honourable mention to his modern counterpart, because even though it's not the same, it's got the name. It's like the spirit of it, and I love the colours on this thing. And just this is my favourite version of this particular mold, and one of my favorites of all the oh Christ, what do you call them, modulators? Is that what they're called, Jamie? You know, the ones that you can pull apart and transform. I genuinely love this guy. He just hits the nostalgia things with the base and everything. Oh, we can do a quick comparison, can't we, with the with the colours and things, so you get the idea of why it's coloured like this, and of course it turns into a little airport and all that. But yeah, there's been times when I've thought about buying a new version of this because they come up on eBay fairly regularly. I mean, it mustn't have been a very rare figure. And there's times when I've thought about buying a replacement. I thought, oh yeah, I'll get a new one, maybe even a mint and box one, even though they cost a lot of money, just because, then I've got one that'll be in a better condition. I can't do it because it feels like I'm cheating on my original Airwave. It's like it just doesn't feel right. So
they're compatible. The little thing I love about the little bases, and obviously the Micromaster says is you can join them all together, and the new ones obviously can the old one join with the new one at all? With the click on ramp?
God, I can't remember. Can they, Jamie? Can the old ones and new ones both join?
They'll come around, didn't they?
I don't think the ramps can.
No,
I know you can sort of put them against it and stuff like that.
Okay,
you will kind of fit.
Cheers, Dave. No. You great man.
It's because I'm back, Dave.
Guess who's back?
Back again. Andy's back.
Shady's back.
That was awesome.
Andy Shady. I love it.
I don't mind going next.
Slim Ridey.
Actually.
Oh, I wish I was Slim Ridey. I've been Slim Ridey for a few years.
Ridey's back. Hide your daughters.
So the bit when we done Autobots last week was there were so many good bases. I think the Autobots won when you look at the base. I think when you looked at the individual Transformers, oh fuck, I haven't uploaded it. 2 seconds. Let me just delete this. I've got so much fucking fan stories in your window.
Fill with banter.
Oh, what
I've accidentally put that. I didn't even. Oh shit!
Oh, it's that old
fuck
classic.
It. No, not you. Stop.
Oh, Screech.
Right. Here we go. Open. Uploading.
Well, it did look like Screech.
So I love the Autobot bases, and the one that you've got, the shuttle base. I used to look at the pictures of that for ages in the catalogue as a kid. I was obsessed with it. One I did get though was the the Micromaster combiners. They were my favourites, and I got this pack. And what's really weird was I can't remember what these called actually. This is from Bryce's Transformers review, so I need to give him a shout out because they're his photos that I'm pinching. And they're amazing photos as well.
Assault Squad. Decepticon Assault Squad.
Yeah, Decepticon, something like that. But I love these. It came in the 3-pack and it added an extra element to their alt modes. I had all 3 of them, and you can do a really good. I remember as a kid doing a really good fan sort of conversion mold on the plane. You can turn him to a little scorpion if you turn him round and you put the plane bit back. But when you combined like tanks and some sort of like ICBM and like missile launcher thing and the plane, and they had so much more detail in terms of their alt modes than the normal Micromasters had. Absolutely fell in love with these. It was really weird because all my Transformers, I was just getting to an age where I kept these guys together. So when you think you're a kid, you just fucking throw the guns everywhere and chew on the plane wing and throw the headmaster out. When I got to this age, I must have been about 11. I kind of kept these. It's the first time I thought I don't want to lose. I don't want these bits to disappear. I want to keep them together, and I want to keep these as a set of Transformers. It was right at the end of my Transformers collecting journey, and I did. And to this day, I've got all 6 of them. I kept them together, all their bits. I really loved their alt modes. I loved the guy who's one of the planes got like that mohawk in the middle, that bright neon mohawk. The colours were awesome. The guys at the end as well on the left hand side, like the tank and the car, turn into a really nice tank and a car. So they're not just combiners, those two. They actually have quite good, if you take the combiner alt modes out, they're quite good. I can show you here. He's a nice car and he's a lovely tank. So that was my choice for my favourite Micromasters, the Micromaster combiners. I'd love to get all of them, the whole set of all of them. And
I've looked at them. I looked at TFN and I think they had the set for something like £40 or £50. And again, I was kind of like, I might. And then I saw one on eBay once, and it was it was in sealed box. It was only about £60, but it wasn't buy it now. It was a bid. So I was watching it, and of course, right at the last minute, it goes through the frigging roof. But yeah, I'd like one of them as well. Is it Direct Hit and Power Punch? The one that turned into like the big cannon on the back, the light blue one, which we got the modern version of, which is
and I've got them around somewhere. I bought it.
I'm not a big fan of the big fan of the Ass Blaster. Not a big fan of the modern Micromasters because while they kind of tried to capture the spirit, they were just too flimsy. I'd actually have preferred slightly, get rid of the ball joints, which often were so loose or just pop straight off every time you try and transform anything. And I'd rather have them just like the original ones, which were nice, quick, simple transformations that didn't frustrate you and make you want to swear and throw it against a wall. But that's a personal feeling. That's right, and everybody should agree with.
I do. You've made me.
Alexis, it must be. Oh no, wait. Have we got Jamie back? He's back. Oh, now, if there's anybody who's going to have Micromasters, it's Jamie.
Yeah. I'll go next. I've got the complete UK set, which I think I said last year. Last week, and I absolutely love the Micromasters. As I said, there were play sets that worked, and I definitely, when I got back into Transformer collecting, it was to me the one vintage Transformer which you could collect and not be disappointed. And you could do touch them up and stuff like that, which I often meant to do, to sort of like work on my paint skills and painting out new stickers and stuff like that, which I've not really got round to doing actually. I've done it with a couple.
Paint me like your Micromasters.
And I fixed up some, added in new tabs and stuff like that, especially for the sort of Autobot van. I sort of fixed up some figures, so which is quite good because it means that you could buy Micromasters relatively cheap because there'll be something broken, and if it's something you can fix, then it's excellent. One of my favorite ones is Skyhopper. And
nice.
And it was, this one is actually quite dusty just now because I've not really dusted it in a while. But I remember cleaning this guy up, and I got him actually quite a good price, and I got it from the forums. Which, to be honest, I think when it comes to buying Transformers and Micromasters, you get some good deals in eBay and stuff like that. But most of my best Micromaster purchases have come from the forums, from people from watching the show, who have actually contacted me and sold me their Micromasters, and it's all been for good, I would say, more than fair prices, especially for the quality, because you're buying it from a fellow fan who really loved it, and they've tried to do their best to keep it in good nick, which is not always easy to do. And they've passed it on to someone else they know it's going to appreciate it. And Skyhopper is pretty cool, and he is fully complete. I've got a bag of accessories there. Not always easy to keep all the ramps, etc. on the thing. And there's a sort of plain mode there. Tends to go with the Micromasters is, the joints become quite loose, and that's just going to happen over time. And the only way to really fix that is either by heating up the pin to make it expand again, to stick it up, which is not the best thing to do, because if you mess with the heating iron or whatever you use to heat it up the pin, you can end up damaging the Micromaster. So in some cases, if you're trying to get a shot and the limb's falling down, just use some blue tack or something like that if you're using it for photos. But as I think, like Paul was talking about, when these Micromasters were coming out, it was coming towards me at either of my Transformer collecting, and it was something which they came as teams, and it was something that was easy to maintain, and you sort of appreciate them more and keep them together. And the idea is Skyhopper would be his assault helicopter, and that worked cool. And I don't know if the Micromasters came out way before the Action Masters came, didn't it? So they were already making transforming bases.
It was like the year before, I think, or 2 years before that they started doing Micromasters, and then obviously we got moved on to Action Masters, which
And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these Action Master bases were already in the pipeline for Micromasters, and they switched them to the Action Masters instead.
That helicopter, I've always loved that helicopter mode. There's just something about it that just looks cool.
Oh yeah, it's quite cool, and I love the whole base concept as well. You know, because that's the one thing is Transformer toys. When you've got your big figures, we never really had bases for them to fight in. You know, because they're quite massive figures, and in the comics and the cartoon, they were always fighting around some base. And with Micromasters, you could recreate a lot of these battle scenes. But that's me finished, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was awesome.
Jamie, can I ask you a quick question? Just a very quick question. Have you ever got all of your Micromaster bases and sets and actually did the whole thing of linking them together, you know, and creating?
I've not linked them all together, but I've had them all out, and
and
I had fun, and I was just transforming. And you know, afterwards, I thought to myself, "Oh, I should have took some photos of this."
This is
you know, but I just had them out, and I was just, you know, just having a good laugh with them, and you know, just seeing them all out there. And it's the only time I really had the whole dining table I could use.
I always think you look back and, like, as a kid, you used to see the pictures of them, and you knew the sets could connect.
Yeah.
Did they even show it in the adverts? Where they sometimes have on the adverts, they'd show the sets connected up, so you knew that, oh yeah, if you get them all, you can create a little city.
I've got like G1 Metroplex, and I've got G1 Scorponok, so I've always wanted to see if they connected up as well. So then you have all those sort of bases. Then I would need to get the Fortress Maximus, and that's like, oh my god, that's like about
£600 from Leicester Vintage Show Shop.
Yeah, you know, so I'd be like,
pick it up when you pick up your what you call it? Oh my god, my mind's got like the Visionaries one. You know, a nice bargain.
Saving for the next.
I'll drop about £1,500.
No, Jamie, we've got that roller mail. I'll text you.
Oh dear.
No.
I wanted to go to roll call this weekend.
You're not going along. You're not going.
No, because I'm still ill, so it'll just be crap.
Just get some Brocker inside you.
Yeah, I could just go to infect all these people and destroy their month before Christmas. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Destroy all those family, get together, see how many grandparents I can take out.
How many lives can I ruin?
Yeah. Or I can do the decent thing and stay at home and be, unless I get much better and I'm not contagious. But there's 2 days. Yeah. So
if you're going, let us know. So I might go.
If I do appear and you're easy to spot me, maybe best avoid me because you'll know the secret. I'll be wearing a mask. I don't know if that'll work.
Can it be, mate? I mean, it's
like a plague doctor covered in.
Yes. Run, you Phil.
Oh, look, are you gonna have your standard shanking device on you as well as your balaclava?
What?
You said shanking, right?
Yeah,
just shanking.
Yeah, I'm just. I'll pretend that didn't happen.
Stand, just hide in the corridor.
I think it's you, isn't it?
It is me, and I've been deliberating.
I'm looking forward to this.
It'll be in desperation.
I thought about picking that wonderful Decepticon Zarek, because he's a really cool Micromaster, because he comes with this really good base. And then he's a Micromaster. He's a Micromaster.
No, he's not.
What, is he the same size?
And you know he's not.
What defines a Micromaster? Can I just understand what the scope is?
Mostly it's that it's a Micromaster.
It's a scope. The scope is it's on the fucking Micromaster, you dick. that's the scope. That's the criteria.
What
defines an Autobot? What defines a Transformer?
They're all going nuts on the show, mate. You've gone away for a second.
What?
They think Zarek's a Micromaster.
What's the scope?
Right.
Is it too late to swap him out for Ian? I just feel we've got to ask the question.
My choice.
Yeah, permanently.
Yeah, I mean, or Rohan, or RJ, anyone really.
Wow. Probably me. I'm a simple man, simple taste. I liked the the Decepticon Sports Car Patrol. That was it. I like.
Oh, they were cool. They were
I
very
like
cool.
Yeah, they were nice.
And I like the yellow
Colours
one
as well.
which looked like a futuristic car, which had the dome on it.
That was always my least favourite one. I like the blue and yellow. I like the way weren't they gang molded or something, and then that why they had the colours tended to be two of them would be opposite colours of each other. It was very cool.
It reminded me of the one which looked like pole position out of the Autobot Sports Car Patrol, which is the blue one, like the.
Bloody hear that apparently
again, and
yeah,
the sports car patrol. It was a game at the time I was playing, which was San Francisco Rush. Remember that with the sports cars? It used to go onto a building.
Yeah, San Francisco Rush 2022.
That was it. And used to have different cheat codes you could put in to make cars race on buildings and things on walls. And it was smaller cars like that. So simple man. I like the sports car patrol really. I did link the bases together as well. I used to link all the bases together.
Do you have the sports car patrol?
I do. I've got all the.
Is it up in your attic?
Yeah, I've got.
On your up in earlier on.
Yeah, there's
so
Are you sure you've got them all? Or
is
this another Carnivik situation?
No.
Lies! You sit on the throne of lies.
I was looking at the pictures and I swear that there's another box that I haven't found.
Guys, I swear.
Right, come on, wrap it up. We've got discussion to do yet. So, quite looking forward to the discussion. So, last week we done our top 5 favourite Autobot Micromasters and our most powerful Autobot. We discussed that. So this week we're going to discuss our most powerful Decepticon. And I feel that there's more powerful Decepticons, when I was looking at this earlier, than there is Autobots, like by some significant degree. So it should be a discussion. It is discussion time!
We now return to the Transformers.
Yes, we do return to the Transformers. Who was the most powerful Decepticon? Who would like to go first?
I don't mind going first. I always perceived that, and I'm going to go straight into Marvel Comics, that Galvatron was the most powerful.
I don't get it. StreamYard's the most expensive software you can get.
It's
really good, but when you go to selecting things, you have to fucking do it like this. It's so stupid. I don't get why StreamYard does that. Everything else is perfect. It's so far above Zoom or anything else or Teams. Unless you want to change screen, and then StreamYard just falls over and goes, "Well, I'll show you the face of the person who was on 10 minutes ago in the video." From
it's like StreamYard is Alexis.
Was that video not the other one you're watching, eh?
Very vibrant.
Yeah, that could be very dangerous.
A bit awkward.
Anyway, go on, Alexis. What were you saying?
I straight in Marvel Galvatron. I'm going to whip him down. Here we go. This bad boy here. Oh, hang on, 2 seconds.
I mean, you've had all day, but okay.
Here we are. Don't fall. Don't fall. Oh. Him. There, him.
Oh, nice throne. Is that the new Fans Toys one?
That is Fans Toys, Marvel Comics, Galvatron. So
needs a sticker.
He's my big bad boy. I like him. I always thought he was. I mean, he, number one, time travel. He did that, right? That's pretty powerful to do that. And the only thing which stopped him was time itself. So, there we go. And he killed so many people. No one, ripped apart the Dinobots when he came in, didn't he?
Don't you mean Transformers?
Look, we're all people, mate.
No.
Okay.
That's me. I'm going to kick it off with that. Because everyone says, "Oh, Unicorn's really powerful." It's like, oh, whatever. No.
Not Decepticon, mate. Not
Unicorn's
Decepticon,
not
mate.
Decepticon.
I can go.
I think you'll find.
I think you'll find it's not action. Yeah, I've got the glasses for it now.
If you can share the screen, Paul.
Amen.
Do it. Yeah. So, basically, when it comes to actual strength, I think we could probably think of quite a few Decepticons are probably physically stronger than Galvatron, even for his size. But I think what gives Galvatron the edge is his ferociousness, his madness. I think about termites and ants, for example. Termites are bigger than ants, are stronger than ants, are better adapted to be able to fight than ants. But ants will decimate a termite base or a termite hill just because the ants are more ferocious. and that gives the answer the edge. And I think when it comes to Galvatron, whatever strength is his base level, that ferocious, that mental state he's in, that he's completely insane, just puts him in another level. It's almost like a boost. His insanity just makes him far stronger than perhaps any other Transformer out there, especially for his size. And I think it makes him fearsome indeed. The way him and Megatron just ripped apart the Wreckers and the Mayhem Attack Squad. Now, anyone else picking up these comics and not being a true believer or a casual Transformer fan, they might think, oh, this is okay, the Wreckers and the Mayhem Attack Squad getting decimated. This is just normal. It's not, because these guys were the elite of the elite. These were battle-hardened warriors, and they just got ripped apart. I mean, the thing was, they were overconfident in the Mayhem Attack Squad and the Wreckers, because they just thought, this is just two bots, something easy to handle, and no, they just got absolutely annihilated, and it was a shock for them. And these guys had been in awful situations. And when it comes to Galvatron, when it comes to the comics, I like to reproduce covers and stuff like that. He's been there, because when it comes to a lot of the epic storylines in the Transformers universe, Galvatron's been there. And I think that's sometimes a hard thing to do with IDW. I think they messed it up quite horribly, in my opinion. And even with the new versions, because everyone wants to tell the Megatron Optimus Prime story, they don't want to let go of Megatron becoming Galvatron. And I think Megatron becoming Galvatron is awesome. And I think we're not letting that Galvatron be the descendant, or being Megatron reborn, or basically just Megatron in a new shell. You're losing out on one of the best characters in the Transformers universe. And I think somehow they're going to have to do that. Maybe with that new cartoon, Megatron will become the bad guy, not out of his own choice, but because he gets badly damaged. Unicron comes on the scene, and they reform him into Galvatron, and Galvatron becomes the new enemy. And the old Megatron's still in there, and they're trying to get at him, but they won't. I'm writing a storyline for the new cartoon that's just been released, which probably won't happen. But I do think we're losing out on one of the best characters in the Transformers universe. You got from Time Wars to 2000, was it Target 2006 or Target 2005? And to the fights with Ultra Magnus, to the last Autobot thing with Fortress Maximus. He's always been there, he's always been that character. To the good, the bad, the ugly, with Deathhead is going after him there, clearly mad, good, the mad, the ugly, I should say. He's just that iconic character. And when he comes up, he sets the pages alight, really does. And even in the cartoon, I think the kind of with that voice and the sort of playing on his madness, it's kind of stifled it, because I loved the Leonard Nimoy take on Galvatron, and I would have loved to have seen that continue. But even then, we had glimpses of what Galvatron could be and should be. And an awesome character, awesomely powerful. The insanity, the madness, you would not want to skip the queue with this guy in the queue. He's just a character. He's just a character which is one of the best characters out there in the whole Transformers plethora of characters out there. He's there. And he's the most powerful Decepticon, in my opinion.
There you go. You could have just seconded my opinion, but, thanks.
Okay, Jumper Boy.
Jumper Boy.
Jamie, that's awesome. I fucking forget about your photos. It's so good, especially your comic ones. Who would like to go first?
You mean third?
Numbers.
Sounds like time. It's relative.
Well, clearly, the most powerful Decepticon of all time is CJ Face. He's not been on the show for a while. Anyway, no, I'm joking. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Hang on.
Don't you hurl.
It wasn't the pussy that was sick, was it? It was Paul that was sick.
The robot mode of that figure is awesome. I'm going to be really quick at this, because I'm just going to say it's Galvatron. It's exactly the same reasons that JB has already and Alexis have already very eloquently said.
Amazing
But this
we
is
all
like
got
the
it.
obvious answer
Yes,
because
right?
it just is. It's literally just it's like who's the best Autobot of all time, and if you don't see Optimus Prime, you're kind of just an idiot. He was, especially the comic book, the UK Marvel comic book version of Galvatron, was just the greatest bad guy Decepticon. He just took Megatron to the next level, and he was a friggin' Unicron-powered mentalist, and he was just amazing. And
at the end of the comics, where he actually channeled Primus's energy and shot Galvatron through his fusion cannon. So shot
Unicron. Unicron. Yeah, everything about him though, it was just incredible. And like the battles with Ultra Magnus, like the photos depicted that Jamie had done, you know, those are some of the most iconic scenes in those stories. And reading those issues and knowing that every time Ultra Magnus is going to come so close to beating him, and then he's going to lose. And you know, just spoilers by the way. But yeah. I don't see how you can choose anyone other than Galvatron. I mean, there's some incredibly powerful Decepticons. Six Shot would be one I'd throw in there because Six Shot ultimately, even Megatron couldn't actually stop Six Shot without the fact that he added in that little failsafe that he could just shut him down, literally shut him down. And even you could go for someone like Predaking, although in the G1 comic books, Predaking couldn't take down Megatron on his own, so how would he have fared against Galvatron? Probably not that well. So yeah, Galvatron. I mean, seriously, as much as we like other characters, I was going to say Double Dealer too, but that would have been boring.
I mean, Megatron could do this sort of black hole
fusion thing. Yeah, he can create a black hole.
Galvatron can still do that.
Galvatron would probably just walk into it and come back out again and say it's all right in there. But I mean, Galvatron was just, and still is, this very iconic character. And yes, it's the way it was written and all the rest of it, so he's very OP, but you know, he is. So what are you going to do? He's fucking awesome. You just can't deny it. He is the ultimate version of Megatron, and he's Galvatron.
It's like all the horror characters had been written in the 80s, and he decided, let's make him a Transformer.
Exactly, let's amalgamate them, and let's have the most badass frigging bad guy, and make him a complete and utter nutter. Because
I mean, I just like the way
entertaining.
He just decimated the Mayhem Attack Squad in the Wreckers, you know.
Yeah, well, that was it. Like those scenes, and like somebody pointed out in the chat about Roadbuster blasting off his face. He blasted off like practically half his head, and it just made Galvatron mad. It didn't kill him. It didn't. It would like it killed Impactor. Didn't even frigging slow Galvatron down. But you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, Overlord, big and powerful, lost the Wreckers.
Overlord lost to Megatron in the.
Yeah, didn't Galvatron do that to save Megatron from getting hit? He actually took the hit.
Something. Oh, it could have been. I can't remember now. I remember the shot hitting him, and I remember that look on his face as he turned around like fuming.
Yeah.
And then I remember Roadbuster, like the gun he was using was experimental, wasn't it? And it basically exploded. So that then.
Scorponok's particularly strong. But again,
Scorponok again, giant city bot.
He's too big and too clumsy to be. I would say, you know, as dangerous as.
Well, I always think of Scorponok. I don't think of Scorponok as the city bot because, again, growing up with the Marvel UK comics, he was more of a like Power Master Optimus Prime sized Decepticon leader. But even then, you know, would he have stood up? Would he have actually been able to beat Galvatron?
Well, not in Time Wars. In Time Wars, he wasn't nimble enough, and Galvatron was just ripping them apart. In
this is it. Yeah. Although Scorponok, of course, had that wonderful, heroic but slightly futile death scene where he just tried to motivate his own troops by ripping Unicron's foot to pieces.
even in like if you look at the Headmasters as well, Six Shot and Galvatron both took on Metroplex, who is the same size as Fort Max. They both took on. They just transformed into big gun and shot them right. Scorponok always lost the Fort Max. Really, I don't know if you saw them fight Metroplex. I don't think you did. They always had to pair off, didn't they?
Was it the Spotlight, the IDW Spotlight Metroplex, where there was the Throttlebots trying to escape from Six Shot, and basically it's not going very well for them. They basically find this Autobot city that they're trying to hide out in, and Six Shot's there just picking them off, and they're trying, bless them, but you know it's Throttlebots against Six Shot. And then there's this wonderful moment where he's standing over the last one. I want to see who's the blue one. What was the name of the blue one from the Throttlebots?
Speedway? No.
Oh, come on, Jamie.
Freeway.
Freeway. I think I'm sure it's the blue one. And he's standing. I'd probably be wrong. Somebody will say in the chat. Actually, it was the white one. Anyway,
right.
he's standing over him, and he's basically about to wipe him out. And you just see. I can't remember if it's a fist or a foot. Just basically this gigantic thing just come down and I think slap and stick shot down. But do it about like on the Fall of Cybertron game where you smash Megatron. And you have to press the button to make Metroplex's fist just smash him into the ground repeatedly. And you just see like Stickshot looking like an old broken lying there.
Doesn't kill him, though.
And then he just kind of gets up later on. He just kind of
Chase.
He's like, right,
Chase.
there you go. Let's get on with it. There you go, Chase.
Was it Chase Red, though?
It was a Chase. Yeah.
Chase was red.
Yeah.
Ed.
Freeway was the white one.
Ed, are you fucking lying on a live Transformers show?
Apparently,
Skywalk.
Freeway was blue.
Oh, so was Freeway the blue one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Searchlight. Was it Searchlight? Was the white one?
The white one. Yeah.
Which one turned the Ford? What was the Ford rally car thing called back in the day? That was a nice car. Ooh. Anyway, that's what the.
That's right. The RS Cosworth. Yeah.
RS Cosworth. That's it.
That's right. It's the one I had. I've also got the blue one now. Actually, I've got the orange one. I think I've got a few of them.
Roll bar.
Hang on,
now we're going into discussion about Throttlebots. Who's your favourite Throttlebot?
Throttlebots. Chase was red. Freeway was white. Freeway was blue. Goldbug was obviously gold. Thank God for that name.
Somebody's
Roll
got the
bar
wiki
was
open.
green. Searchlight was white. White Lord was orange.
Yeah, man, you can see in that photo.
What colour was the Decepticon Micromaster Skyhammer?
Chase was red, Freeway was blue.
You in there.
Oh,
it's the great debate when everybody starts going. It was that. No, it was this colour. It was that colour. What was the name? Oh, Wide Load. That was the one that Liam bought me as a crap Transformer, and I was actually really chuffed. So he was really disappointed.
He upped his game after that, though.
Oh, he did. Right. He really did.
So for my one, I went for the most powerful Decepticon. The only thing I could think of was like the one. When you think of Decepticons, they're the bad guys, aren't they? So who do you get the most scared of? If you were an Autobot, who would you most fear? And I think about that quote. Jimmy Savile, definitely. Fear leads to anger. The quote from, is it fear leads to anger and anger leads to hate? I think hate leads to suffering from Yoda. And he says that. When you think of that, and that's like proper, that's when you've turned to the dark side. There's only one Decepticon I can think of that represents that. And that's Overlord. I think he is the most awfully horrible Decepticon that there is, and probably the most powerful. When you read, I haven't read all the comics. I have a job, but when you read all,
I have a job.
Oh, Jamie's just muted him. Oh, I like that.
He's muted himself. I heard a bang. He muted himself. The universe muted him for saying he had a job, and that's why he couldn't read comics.
I don't have time to read the comics, so I've only read like Last Stand of the Wreckers and stuff, where you see, how brutal is he in Last Stand of the Wreckers? He organises a pit of death, and he gets Autobots to actually, like, when you empower someone to do bad, that's what he does, and that, to me, is the greatest power you can have. So for me, it's Overlord is the most brutal, powerful Transformer.
Holy shit, it's okay to be wrong.
Apparently Marcelo Bielsa's in talks to become the new Bournemouth manager. What the hell is going on? Crazy world. Sorry, football.
It's just one of those
football chat.
clubs. He just go, I do Bournemouth. I fucking do Bournemouth. It's like, what?
Well,
really, Marcelo? Like I do it.
You know, he lived in Wetherby, which is where my brother-in-law lives, and apparently he'd literally just be wandering around Morrison's doing his shopping, training in his old full gear. What, Wetherby? Oh, it's a lovely place, Wetherby. Oh, it's posh Yorkshire, that. Trust you. He used to wander around Morrison. People, like anybody would just come up to him and just chat to him. He'd just stop and chat to them and have photos taken. That's part of the reason why Leeds fans loved him, because he was very down to earth. Anyway, there you go. That little bit of football for you.
That's what we're finishing off tonight. So if you don't like football, sorry.
We're
going to finish off with the England team. What do we think? So James, the absolute ledge,
Alan Wilson, Kieran Trippier, Nick Pope. That's all I need to think.
Trippier, do you see some stats for Trippier recently?
Yeah,
like in like his conversions, like is one in the Premier League, like of all the Premier
League, players in the Premier League,
he's like in the top three for all.
Yeah,
they were choice stats, but how old is Trippier now?
You can flash up the picture.
31, I think.
Yeah, that's 31.
He's still fantastic.
I'll still do him.
Well, you know,
that's a real good thumbnail you did for tonight. as well.
It is. I
It's
said that
almost
before
like
the show.
it's almost like Paul wanted to pick Galvatron tonight, and then us three fuckers picked it, and he's like, "Fuck you!"
I'll do
God damn it! I'm not gonna do that.
Maybe I subtly
think
changed
about
you. Maybe I wanted to
picking
pick
something else.
Overlord, and I thought you fuckers all going to pick Overlord. So I thought, do the thumbnail as Galvatron and subtly change it. Like,
I was gonna pick something else just because I thought the other lads would do Galvatron, but then I just thought, nah, screw it. I'm gonna do the one I think is the most powerful.
I was quite close to picking an Alicon, so because the Alicon overpowered.
Because it was near to you and you hadn't
Oh,
prepared.
because
all.
that's a Decepticon. Because that's a Decepticon. Yeah, because that's a Decepticon. Because it's a
Alicon.
Decepticon.
Technically, they're in season 3. They are like so the Alicon overpowered
not
Hot Rod,
Decepticons.
and
They're
Hot
not
Rod beat
Decepticons.
Galvatron. Hot Rod beat Galvatron.
Oh my god! For the second week in a row.
Both of them. So therefore, Alicon beat
You
Hot Rod.
do it
Therefore,
to
Alicon
yourself, you
is the
do.
winner.
And that's what really
Mic
hurts.
drop.
There was no mic drop there. The mic went upwards. It didn't go it flipping
Kleenex drop. That's heavier than a mic. Use Kleenex drop.
You've dropped enough Kleenex. Let's not get into that.
well, thanks for joining the show. If you hate football, we're going to talk about football now. When we look at goalkeepers, Pickford, Pope, and Ramsdale from Arsenal. So we've got the Newcastle goalkeeper, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and Everton's goalkeeper. Who would you go for, Andy? Oh, Pope, because I support Newcastle.
I wouldn't go for the T-Rex arms. I'd probably go for Ramsdale. I don't. I think Pickford. I don't understand this massive love for him. He's got too many mistakes in him, and he cracks under pressure. And we saw that every time he comes to play at Newcastle, he makes a cock up, or he plays against Newcastle. He always makes a cock up because emotionally he can't handle it once people are giving him like real. Newcastle fans give him pelters because he's an ex-Sunderland goalkeeper who's a Sunderland fan and freely admits literally hating Newcastle. So we always give him pelters, but the times when he's just literally crumbled under the pressure and made cock-ups and we've beaten them in games is just
Premier League's different to being in international. It's a different. Like,
it is, but I mean, again, it's still pressure, isn't it? You could argue there's more pressure playing for England than there ever is playing in the Premier League because the press over here, you make one mistake and suddenly you're the worst player in the world and you should be kicked out of the squad. So we'll see how he reacts to the pressure. He will be number one.
Is that a genetic thing, or is it just? I don't understand that.
Oh, it's an English thing because the Scottish don't do it to theirs, and the Welsh don't do it to theirs. They tend to hold
the Scottish did do it during 2000 and onwards, and it was no.
Although you were a bit shit, though.
No, well, that happened.
No,
that
you were.
Happened. No,
I can show you the results.
We did it on your behalf.
No, actually,
it's literally there on paper.
And the junior team was doing really well, but that happened at the same time when Rangers started to get demoted. So suddenly you lost half the Scotland squad. And then you lost them. And then all hell broke loose because it was just sectarianism. They were slating each other. There was just abuse. It happened almost for nearly 2 decades. And it's only when the abuse has stopped that Scotland's actually started to play well again. Not brilliant, but they're playing well again because we stopped that abuse.
They're a team again. They look like a team together, and that's sometimes like Newcastle are doing very well. We're third in the league, but if you actually looked at the other squads of the teams around us, their squads are far better than ours. But it's the fact that our players are playing as a team. They play
Premier League.
They play together like a team should. And and we'll
I think
fourth when we go in.
It's an outsider. I think a lot of people really liked the England team from the last World Cup and even the Euros before.
Yeah.
And they liked the fact that it's it was more a humble team, and and people had much more social media, better PR. Because you had the players speaking out for the poor, feeding children, blah, blah, blah. You couldn't help but like these guys, and literally it was some of the best stuff that they've probably done.
It's not just that, it's what we had beforehand. When you had Beckham and like Gerrard and Lampard, and they used to score. So when we used to play friendlies or qualifiers, they used to score. And then they didn't fucking celebrate and used to do my head in. They'd just be like, yeah, good goal. We're England, we'll get the goal.
Schools celebrated.
Under Southgate, they fucking when they scored, they went mental. Right? Like look, and they did. Scholes were celebrating stuff, and they were celebrating big games. If you look at England when they used to do qualifiers and stuff, there was almost like a presumption, like we need to win, and we're going to win, and we're the best team in the world. So, and we weren't at all, and we're the best players in the world from like Real Madrid and Manchester United and Chelsea. And when they scored, they used to just do this. And fucking Harry Kane, he's the last one who used to do it. They used to score, and they used to just go again. It used to piss me off so much. And when this New England bunch under Gareth Southgate used to score, it meant so much for them. And they were running up to each other, celebrating. And that's to me, that was a big step change in England. It was the team.
Well, the women's England team have been really successful. They won it, didn't they?
Yeah, although it's a very different marketplace with the women's game, because
but
you've got like the stronghold of the women's game is America, because they've been pushing women's football in America for far more years than they have in England or anywhere else. We are only just now in that game catching up, which is why we've been able to do so well.
Not quite political. Remember, it was very political. It's about who the players are from, where they're from, and then when the new manager came in, she got rid of all that and just started picking the best players.
Alexis,
and that's it's not just the team. I think we're really behind Gareth Southgate because again he's been.
I don't know. You clearly not been listening to the sports phones.
No. I think Gareth Southgate.
Even Tony denial.
He's someone who's experienced tremendous pressure and has a lot of harassment in the press. And to Paul's point, he gets fucking well into it when someone scores a goal, and I stand behind him. And a lot of the other managers who've been there who have been a little bit toffish.
Yeah, but it's almost like you can't be arrogant with Gareth Southgate as your manager, can you? And that's helped. Like, it sounds stupid, but you can't be arrogant with him as your manager.
Some people are starting to argue now that part of the reason why he had so much success at first, because he brought in a lot of the younger players that he'd worked with when they were under 21s, so they knew him and they liked him and they played for him. And now, as they're getting older and other players that he didn't necessarily work with are coming into the squad, he's not getting the same motivation out of them. Our recent games have been very poor. I mean, the performances have been god-awful. Was it 4-0 at home to Hungary?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
the game for 5, haven't we? That was
frigging hell. That was just.
And I think Ramsdale played in goal for that.
But they shouldn't be having that World Cup there anyway. We could do a whole show about that. I mean, that's just having it in Qatar in the first place is.
Apparently, a good documentary on Netflix,
Patreon, so we can do that.
I mean, on the Patreon.
Wouldn't it be the best thing to do is to literally everyone to show up somewhere like Belgium and have the World Cup there, and quite go just to go, where is everyone? And we go, hi, look at us on Twitter, and just do it there, because there's no reason to have it there apart from money.
Oh yeah, that's the entire reason.
Oh yeah,
there is a documentary. You're exactly right.
Netflix documentary.
You're not standing up for anything by going there. You're not saying an important message. You're just going there.
It was
for
his
money.
fucking choice.
But getting back to the football, right? Can I ask to one of you, one player? So we've done the goalkeeper. We'll do defenders in a sec. What one player were you happy? Probably Andy's the only person who can answer this. Maybe Jamie a bit. Alexis. It's not Gary Mabbutt. What one player were you happy came into the squad?
Alan Shearer
came into the squad.
Yeah, my favourite player. She still likes him. I haven't had the heart to tell.
Right, I'll start. So for me, Maddison was good, but Trent Alexander-Arnold. Really happy that he's in squad. I think he does offer you something that you can throw on at half time.
What's the Aston Villa player they keep talking about? The one with the fancy hair and he thinks he's wonderful. Is he in the squad?
Jack Grealish, who plays for Man City?
Left for Man City about 2 years ago.
Grealish has always been the guy they think is going to be the new Beckham, but he never has been, has he?
Well, he's kind of a mix between Beckham and he's a dribbling winger who his only recent successes have been to help turn Miggy Almiron into one of the greatest players in the league at the moment.
So he's a feeder, right? That's a good role though, to be a feeder. If he can feed some of the strikers, there's a lot of fucking strikers in our squad.
Yeah, but you see, he doesn't get enough assists or enough goals, but he looks fancy on the ball, so everybody thinks he's great. And we always have that in England. You get any player with any kind of skill that can take it past a player, and we all go, "This is the next Gaza. This is the next greatest thing ever. He will be the best player in the world." And they're not.
You have Paul Scholes, who was that super player, and you just
he was, but he wasn't that type of player. Scholes was just an incredibly clever footballer. He was more like
he was a workhorse. He worked well. He worked
closer to Zidane, although Zidane was quite good at dribbling the ball. Scholes wasn't the kind of person to take on 3 players and beat them, but he just had such vision and timing, and he destroyed Newcastle. I've watched him.
Well, that's
play
what made Sheringham.
Sheringham
was obviously his timing.
Yeah, he got 2 goals against Scotland in those qualifying.
He was brilliant. Everyone was talking about Beckham, and everyone was like, "Fuck Beckham." Beckham couldn't get past the Scottish defender. That showed you how shit he was. But Scholes fucking went past half the team.
The thing is, you've got the big argument with our defence or our squad is that Southgate has showed a lot of loyalty to players who've done well for him in the past. Like Maguire is the one that's always held up because his form is awful and has been for about 18 months, and yet he's going to get picked in the squad ahead of someone like Tomori, who's a very talented young defender doing great things in Italy with AC Milan. Doesn't even get a look in.
Maguire was captain before, wasn't he? Maguire was captain.
Well, he was. He's captained the side.
Championship manager. If he was playing for AC Milan, I'd have picked him.
Alex, like you want all the greatest players of Championship. Where's Cherno Samba up front? Get him up front, man. 15 years old, knocking in 40 goals a season. You can't go wrong. But yeah, the defense looks okay. I think it'll be a toss up between Alexander-Arnold, who hasn't had the best season, and Trippier. But I think if it's a game where we need to be more defensive, he'll put Trippier in. I think it's a game where we can get a hatful. He'll put Alexander-Arnold.
Do you think they'll qualify then to go through to the next round, England?
I think we'll get into the knockout stages. The only thing that makes me worry is the weather and the heat. And everybody keeps saying, well, the stadiums are air conditioned. On the pitch, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
But luckily enough, they can use the dead corpses of all the slaves who used to build those
stadiums thousands.
So Mount.
I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, I know what you mean.
How many goals has Callum Wilson scored for Newcastle? You said you're
this season. He's been in and out of the team.
He's injured now, isn't he? He's got.
Well, no. Everybody's saying, "Oh, he's injured." He's not. He's just ill.
He's
which
got
I'm
cold
guessing
or
means
something.
COVID. He'll have COVID or something.
But what should I say to Milan to manage our expectations? Should I just say, don't support them? They're not going to do
Alan
well,
Shearer has changed his hair and looks younger than he normally is. He calls himself Kane now.
I think a lot of it's going to depend on the actual.
That's wrong, isn't it? Harry Kane's no skill level of Alan.
I think it's going to depend on the heat and
He's
the
not
environment.
I'm sorry for all the Tottenham fans.
I think it'd be those who, because again, like
take away 3 years of Harry Kane's career, and he wouldn't.
Is it at a high altitude? Is it?
It's 2,000 foot. It's actually they actually play on cloud
the
plates,
sky, the clouds,
where they put
like Mario.
stadiums in the clouds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, you get to the final level on Super Mario Bros. 3.
No, it's not in high altitude.
And
I think you're thinking of Bolivia, which is.
And the referees riding little ponies.
It's
going to be the hottest World Cup ever.
White's one of those ones because my wife, I came home from work at 7 o'clock or whatever time it was at night when I got back, and she was saying, "Oh, do you know about the England squad?" And I said, "Of course, yeah, I've had the updates on my phone." And she said, "Who's that White? Who's the lad from Arsenal?" And I'd say, "Oh, he used to play for Leeds. He's done really well." But he's a centre back.
He's played out of
he's
position.
Yeah,
he's played right back the whole
the only
season.
problem with him, he looks like he's made of mahogany and he's polished. There's something about every time I see him, he just looks too gritty to be a footballer. Like it's like you won't last in the rough and tumble of the game. But you know,
he's only
playing
top
foreign
of the
teams,
league.
they'll all just fall over. Only top of the league. Not for long.
That's the only shit thing about Arsenal this season. We haven't beaten anyone above us. Until they get bored. Do you know what Pep Guardiola said the other day? He was like, Pep Guardiola was like, yeah, no. Someone said to me the other day that this is our best start in the Premier League in 5 seasons, and Arsenal are still above us.
I'm just surprised.
What more? Like all the seasons, it's like fucking hell. Like Man City
3 points ahead.
signed 2 points. They
I'm
signed Haaland, like the greatest striker, comes over, is the greatest striker, like breaks all the records. And that's the season where we're like, we become good. So what season do you want to become good in your team? Oh, I'll choose the one where Man City are not only the best team in the world, but they signed the best striker in the world as well. That's the season
everybody's got that problem, though, in the league, in the Premier League, is the fact
going
that
back to Transformers, do you think we can make a football... Do you think we can make a football list of like Transformer Autobot team going against a Decepticon team?
Who would you want up front?
Oh, I like that. Can we do it next week? Can we do a Transformer football team?
Oh, you won't do anything you like.
Oh, come on.
You'll turn up and you'll just make up some names and stick them in there.
Autobots have 11 players. 11 players. Who
the
do you have?
Decepticons would be the Germans. Totally.
Midfielder and striker. 4 players you pick each. Autobots or Decepticons.
You have to make sure no combiners, no city bots.
There's 11 in the team.
No combine. Jamie's right. No combiners, no city bots. 4. Best goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and striker. Let's do it next week. Everyone's all in.
Well, it's 11 players. You could have 2 strikers if you want, but yeah.
No, you can pick one for each position. One for each position.
Is that because you can't think of 11 positions on a football?
I can think of many positions on a football.
It's prop forward.
My damn what a wonder back in the day.
There's wicket keeper.
I'm actually a really good left footer.
Bubble Jumper's saying put Blair on the right wing. I would put Pretty Patel right on the right wing, like really far out there.
I put Liz Truss in goal.
In goal.
I would put Liz Truss in goal, gentlemen, because she's a keeper.
Bellingham. I don't know. You see, I look at our midfield and I think that's where we look weakest. Rice has lost form a bit.
Gallagher as well.
Phillips hasn't played all season. Henderson's still good, but he's past it a little bit at international level. Gallagher's been crap for most of the season.
He loves the idea.
He came on against Arsenal. He was flat. But when you look at the forwards, though, like Maddison and Grealish and Saka, they will sit back almost into midfield, won't they? You'll have a couple of holding defenders.
Grealish will just get kicked a lot and fall over and then try and start fights with the defenders. Foden's one of our most talented players and he's incredibly underrated. Kane will just do what Kane does and score goals, but whether he
just not for England.
You've got to do it in the big games. You've got to do those moments. If you're going to be a top striker, like the best strikers that we've had, you really have to really prove it now. Saka's fantastically talented, and if he's on his game,
and the fact that he missed the penalty.
Sterling's there. I mean, none of us are really sure why, but he's there. Yeah. And then Callum Wilson, who will be just happy to be, he'll literally be the guy sat on the bench going,
oh my God, yeah. This should be Ivan Toney, but it's me. That's crazy.
And Rashford's also there, but he seems to have turned a bit of a corner and actually playing well again. Rashford, I want to do well because, like you mentioned about the players who did a lot, from a community social point of view. Rashford's one of those that I want to do well.
I've noticed a lot of people are starting to mimic these people now. And it seems almost false, like PR people are trying to copy what these guys did it when they weren't going to win anything, or win the pause. They were just speaking from the heart.
I totally hope I'm wrong, but I look at that squad and I just don't see us winning.
I can see there's a lot of
I don't. We look at the fact that we've got Henderson. How old's Henderson now?
Ultimate Decepticon team for
38.
If you send in
15,
message the show on Facebook.
Rashford's quite old now, isn't he?
Your Transformer team.
And
you'll read why. You'll read out
maybe a little bit higher.
You can pick. Andy's got the best reading voice.
I mean, lockdown's robbed these athletes a lot of their best
25,
potential, hasn't it?
You see, he's been around for so long. You always think they're a bit older, but then you've always got that problem of when players get things too young and they lose that focus. And we've seen, look at Dele Alli. He just got too young, and now it's like he's not interested in football.
It's like the King Richard story, the Venus and Serena Williams story, when he refused to put them into the sort of competition, like the courts, until they were ready. So everyone goes through the sort of the sort of junior pro tours.
I meant more the fact that they got, not only did they get the fame, they got the money. And when you're 18 years old, getting paid $100,000 a week, I mean, where is there to go from there, really? By the time you're 22, you'll probably be on
signed at 17 for a lot of money. They're signed for 11. I think Reebok sponsored them for 11 million quid when they were 17, but he refused to put them into that tour because he said they'd just burn out because there's so much pressure on them at such a young age to get to that level. But as long as they maintain their discipline, they don't need to compete competitively in that sort of what he called was a toxic environment.
I'm glad that Madison's going to the World Cup though, because it'll really do him some confidence. Give him some confidence before he joins Newcastle in January.
Why?
Do you think he would?
He supposedly wanted to come in the summer, but Leicester wouldn't play. Well, I'd have him because ultimately, if you're asking, is he as good or better than what we've got, then he is. On form at the moment, our players are doing incredibly well, and I'm more than happy. Joe Linton almost made the Brazil squad. He almost made the freaking Brazil squad. And when you think, literally a year ago, he was a joke.
Isn't it what controversy about Brazil squad just now? A lot of good players
now
Brazil have been overlooked.
I feel like this is one of those discussions that, as much as I'm enjoying having it on our podcast, is like we'd normally be having this afterwards. I'm not looking at the viewership. I'm going to make this 20 in the chat.
Whoever's still left, we've got 21 people watching still. If it's still left, send in your Transformer. Transformer.
You want hot dog?
The Instagram account.
We want a goalkeeper, a defender, midfielder, and a forward or striker.
Crosshairs up front.
We want to know why you picked that person in that particular role. And then Andy will read all your teams next week. Andy will read them all out next week for you.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Read out all what?
Or Decepticons. Pick one of the two. 4 goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, striker, and then next week, and we'll do our own ones as well, and we'll do a big thing at the end of it and build up to the World Cup.
Stuart Jardine, you're right. If Maddison has a good World Cup, his price will be inflated, but his contract runs out in the summer, so it won't be inflated that much because EA's going for free otherwise. I'm pretty sure that's the situation with him anyway, because when we were after him in the summer, I'm sure that's what was mentioned, that if he didn't go. But
we'll do Twitter and Facebook. Put them on the. Jamie, what's Twitter, mate?
Twitter is TF Show UK.
Fantastic. Andy, Facebook.
It's like a social media site where you can go and share stories with people. Oh, sorry, Transformers the show. You can't miss us. Transformers the show. We accept anyone. Come and join us.
Fantastic. Oh, what's that cologne you got on tonight?
CK1. For him or her.
There you go. Right.
And there's some more downstairs.
I'm been your host. Thank you for watching tonight.
She's left it for you. Didn't want you to miss.
Yes, she was a little bit downstairs. What? Thanks, wife. 5.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. For whatever the hell this ended up
being. I'm on 11. I'm on wife 11.
Good night.
The other 10 don't know.
Bye. Bye.